Pixel Response After Dark. I'm your groovy host, Paul. With me is Nathan.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the lounge.
So there is a reason why we're talking like this.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think it's a good
late.
reason.
It's late at night.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is a great reason. We rarely ever record this late. So longtime listeners know that's a total bald-faced lie. But
like on a weekday, we don't.
I guess that's true. My reasoning was we tried recording last night, but I was taken ill. Is that a phrase? Taken ill?
Sure.
I was under the weather.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, so cold symptoms, how would you normally say, oh, I have a cold? Like, that means you're blowing your nose a lot. You might have to drink some Neocitrin or something. Like, your throat's a little sore. Like, that's what I always associated with a cold. But apparently...
And head. Like...
A bit of a headache or just kind of a...
And a little nauseous or something. Yeah, I get that.
Okay. I like, just kind of drowsy, just not, Like, these are cold symptoms I have grown up with for 20 plus years of just like, yeah, that's colds. Lymph nodes, swollen lymph nodes, apparently those are also on the list a lot. Is that an adult thing? Like once you hit a certain age, you just also, that happens? Just stuff like breaking down?
Is this what we've always been told? Is like, once you get older, your body just starts shutting down?
Yeah, it's like my lymph system or whatever, lymphatic system, it's just like, oh no, yeah, about a quarter into the century of your, it starts kind of kinking up a bit, starts screwing up, and yeah, they swell up sometimes. I don't know. So yeah, I went to the doctor a couple days ago just because I noticed there was this kind of swelling happening. I was like, do I have like a tumor? What's happening? I'm scared. So went to the clinic and they didn't seem like, I guess ideally, a doctor doesn't seem rushed while they're treating you, but that was not the case here. So I was maybe a little like, it's just like, all right, what's going on? Okay, you got a swollen thing? Okay, where is it? Okay, it's like a pea-sized thing. Like, don't worry about that. We'll check again in a month. Anything else? Yeah, my face is itchy. Okay, you should use this stuff. Okay, anything else? There's this thing on me. That's not even a thing. And I was like, okay. It was like in and out in 5 minutes. And it's just like, oh, okay, like I guess that counts as a doctor visit, but I kind of don't feel like I'm equipped with new information to be healthier. I just kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what the problem is that you turn to the internet to maybe be your doctor, and the causing lead of lymph nodes is cancer. It's like that's the first thing you read.
Well, like there's also mumps is mentioned somewhere in there, measles and stuff, and that's a buzzword in local news lately. Like there's been a couple cases of measles popping up.
Has there?
Yeah, it's mostly in relation to like school kids, like anti-vaccination campaigns and stuff. Like there's been like chastising of that group of people of just like, you should not send your kid to school because there is a measles outbreak happening, and if you haven't vaccinated, we don't want you around. Like that's kind of this weird thing going on.
I have something to let you know then.
Okay.
So Erin works with school kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she gave us measles.
Oh, like she might have carried it home or something? Like
maybe. She's like in bed right now, which is kind of unusual. I mean, for a work night, it's kind of unusual for her to be in bed right now.
Are you saying she's feeling sick?
Yeah, like really bad. Yesterday and today.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, thing is, I don't know what the appropriate course of action is if you do think you have measles, because I don't think they want you to go infect a bunch of weak people at the hospital. So,
right.
Like, maybe there's unreported cases or something. Like, I don't know.
So it's like if you have measles, you should quarantine yourself until you die or are better.
I think you will most likely just get better. But it's saying, like, drink a lot of water and stuff and that kind of thing. Like, I did look at that. Like, I'm honestly, like, a little bummed out. Like, it's just like, I really, really, really don't want measles right now because I'm about to go to a comic expo. And I don't want to be, like, the infector of like 50,000 of the people in Calgary who I relate to the most. Like, that's just shit.
Did you say the infector?
The infector. Although I could also look at it as just like, I am the Reaper, and then just like, oh, you're wearing a Big Bang Theory shirt, and then just like touch them in the face, and then just walk away. And it's just like, what was that
the Harvest Store.
Exactly. Nice. The Harvester. That's what I would be. I would be the Harvestor. and I would go around infecting people whose nerdy inclinations aren't quite like mine, and be the worst person in Calgary, probably. I don't know.
Are you starting to feel better though?
I think so. It was kind of just a little kind of rush of just like, man, my throat feels really tight. Like, it wasn't like sore. It was just kind of like, if I talk too much, it feels like maybe my breathing is getting a little weird, but I kind of was under the impression that might be related to like just a dusty work environment or something. Like, I didn't know it was actually maybe a thing that was happening to me. Mm-hmm. So, I've been drinking a lot of water, not talking as much. So this show is a little bit more like controlled or something. I'm being a little more reserved than shrill, maybe.
Than like usual.
I think that might be a good idea, just to be kind of a little more low key, not stress my throat too much. Like opera singer tips, maybe. Like maybe I should read up on what those people do to kind of keep their voice in check, but put some compresses on my throat or something. I don't know, but hey. You used a word earlier in this conversation that I thought was kind of interesting. Harvester?
Mm-hmm. Harvester.
Yeah, that seems to kind of relate to some stuff I saw you doing yesterday on your Hitbox channel. I was preparing to podcast with you, and I was like, oh, what Paul's doing this? All right, let's see what's going on. What was that I saw? It was a bizarre, violent adventure game that's to kind of have at least sort of interesting subject matter in some ways. I guess we can. You're the one to elaborate. Like, what is Harvester?
Okay, so Harvester. Excuse me, my throat is actually as well been a little off and on, so hopefully it's not a bad idea.
Something serious, but. Hey, this might be
the
last episode of Pixel Response After Dark.
After Dark edition.
We'll see.
Yeah. But Harvester is a point-and-click adventure game that came out on PC back in 1996. Mm-hmm. And it's more heralded as being the most violent adventure game ever created. That's how a lot of people know it, back then for sure.
Was that like its tagline or something, or just kind of quickly earned that rep?
That was actually on the box, yeah. It said Harvester, and then right underneath it, the most violent adventure game of all time.
Great, okay. Like, you know what? From what I saw, like just 10 minutes or whatever, maybe. It was pretty gross.
Sure. So the story is basically you're playing as a guy named Steve, and you wake up in this strange town in the early 1950s called Harvest. And as all video games, you can't remember anything. You can't remember who you are, who you were, or anything like that. And you basically just go around the town talking to the townsfolk who are off in their own weird and quirky way and kind of diabolical undertone way. And you just try to find out what's going on, and you find out that there's this place in Harvest called the Lodge. Now, what the Lodge is a large building in the center of town, and it's a headquarters for what is called the Order of the Harvest Moon, and that's where you're going to find your answers. So that's the basic premise of the game, right?
Okay, and does pretty much everyone in town point you towards the Lodge as being like, this is a point of interest? You should look at that. Harvest Moon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you have to go. The first thing in that game is you have to get an application to join the Lodge. And by doing so, you go down the mail, like the post office. That's where they have the applications, but there's only one left and we don't make photocopies until next month, sort of thing. So now you got to find a convoluted way to try to get that, and it ends up in like blackmailing people by finding out twisted things or secrets or whatever. Then you fill one out, and then after that it's kind of we'll let you into the Lodge, but like your application was you qualified for initiation.
Mm-hmm.
So what initiation is a bunch of pranks throughout days of the week. There's like days or whatever, night and day cycles in this game. And they start off innocent enough with like scratching this dude's car. and the last one is burning down this lady's establishment, like her diner. And in doing so, the lady whose diner you burned down at the very last thing is that was like her own way to support her and her child, and she basically kills her and her kid. Another thing you have to do is you have to go to the firehouse and steal a bolt of cloth from the firemen, who are gay, by the way.
What does that like factor in any
anything?
way?
It doesn't, but they
do they just have kind of like a very affected, very stereotypical gay voice, or is it like no, it's a plot point. They're gay. Oh, okay.
No, the very stereotypical lisp and how they speak.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, I think what really drives it home is the fact that when you go into the fire station, there is just a giant room with a bed in the middle, and there is a naked dude that they are both drawing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subtle. So, and it's FMV, so is it just like, yeah, this is the first digital dong, actually. It's just in the game. It's crazy.
No, I think he's being covered up by a blanket or something, if I remember.
Okay, yeah. It makes sense. I was just like, how many firsts did this game have? Like, was that one of them? But no, okay. I guess not.
Well, and because Harvest is set in 1953, they don't take kindly to the gay firemen. They call them sorts of names and say that they're funny. And yeah, it's actually kind of one of those. I think it's one of those things that they almost wanted to have like a black family in town, but thought that was maybe too much. So they went with the gay thing, because in the mid 90s, being gay still wasn't maybe like widely accepted as just a normal thing.
Right.
Still, like, people would hurl around the term like "don't act funny" or like "don't be a fag" and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, that is a much more like hot topic for the 90s than racism, which in theory was sorted out in the 60s, but it wasn't. But civil rights movement and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Like, just from the little bit I saw, like a little bit Twin Peaks, a little bit I don't know, Mortal Kombat, in terms of just how over the top the actual gore stuff is, like just spinal cords getting ripped out of people.
That you only saw the last about half hour, though.
Yeah. Oh, is
the rest of it is more like Twin Peaks, going around talking to weird people that speak in weird cryptic verses and shit.
Okay. You said there's a very, very controversial scene though, where like cannibalism of some sort, like kids.
Yeah. There's. So basically, when you get into the lodge, get into the lodge finally, and you kind of have to work your way from the first floor up to the third floor, and then like the final dude to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And while the first floor is just kind of finding your way through, the second floor is kind of more puzzly, I guess you could say. It's not a hard puzzle, but you have to go to different rooms and do different things to continue. The third floor is literally every room you go into, you have to kill somebody or something. So it's like killing your way through the rest of the people in the game. And
I guess, do you want to kind of just divulge everything that happens, or would you rather people go watch the archive and kind of see what happens in Harvest?
Well, they can go ahead and do that. They can also buy the game if they want. It's on Steam for $5.99. It's easily accessible, and
is that really what prompted you to play it when you did? Like, it's just like, oh, absolutely. This is here now. Weird. I'll look at that.
Yep.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it.
Okay. So for sure. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to kind of like. So the end of the game, like that's the part I saw. Like I can jive with you.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that.
Okay.
But the part you're talking about specifically that's very controversial is there is one room on the third floor where you walk in and there is a mother talking about how children just basically suck the life out of you, like literally when they're in the womb or whatever, and you're like trying to keep them nourished and fed, and then afterwards financially and stuff. It's this whole like diatribe about how hard it is being a parent or a mother specifically, and the whole time she's doing this, she's dying because her 3 kids are viciously eating her body.
That's like Cronenbergian is what that sounds like. That honestly reminds me of the movie The Brood, which is like this mom with like all these little kids that are like weird little monsters. Like that just seems like kind of a weird visual metaphor that wouldn't be out of place in one of his movies, except rendered in like really weird FMV with weird backgrounds by the sound of it. Because like seeing the part I did, like it just looks like maybe you just get used to it, but like the weird, harsh, like obvious green screen kind of look to the backgrounds versus the actors and stuff, like the cutout look of it is just kind of...
Most games from that era look that way, though.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe it's like on a CRT then this was kind of surreal, maybe, but now it's kind of like, wow, this is
silly.
Clunky. Yeah. But, hey, going for it. It's certainly doing some stuff.
Yeah, that scene specifically was actually censored in the UK.
Okay.
And it was the reason why the game was banned in both Germany and Australia. So that scene alone was...
Oh, they didn't, like, cut it? They're just like, no, this is not okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
I guess you could edit the game, but I guess...
You could just take that whole room out, because it doesn't add anything to plot. It's just gore porn.
It sounds like a total sidetrack kind of thing. But, I mean, the core of the game, getting to the ending stuff I saw, it seems to be doing this kind of meta-narrative thing about the corrupting nature of games and then making...
That is the first time that happens in that whole game, by the way. So I feel like it was thrown in to try to justify
itself kind of thing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I guess that, you'd kind of have to at that point, if your whole thing is just incredibly gratuitous violence, be like, no, dude, it's like about that, man. The whole game was like making you more and more used to doing horrible stuff, and then that's the point, man. You're the killer. It's you. Like that kind of thing is like, okay, like that's sort of interesting to see a video game be self-depreciating in a way about its own horrible content, because like a lot of them aren't. They're just like, giant body counts, crazy stuff, no self-awareness, whereas this is like like maybe the thing that was like rubbing me a little weird about it is like, man, this is like so self-aware, it's almost like getting into that snooty weird territory of just being like, man, you're sick and you're weird, and it's just like, well, I didn't make this thing. Like, I just wanted to play an adventure game. Like, what I don't know. Like, it seems kind of like also, I guess it reminded me of that plot point in Metal Gear Solid 2, where like that game is ostensibly about a training virtual mission to like train soldiers, and it's like you on the couch are a digital soldier or whatever. Like, you're kind of getting acclimated to doing weird, crazy stuff, and it's like, could a regular person become a like established agent in just a matter of one mission? And it's just like, wink, 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 wink. We're talking about you. Yeah,
right.
Like that game, I felt was definitely more like delicate about it, or just a more. I don't know. Like, honestly though, like that's one of the first games where I encountered that kind of self-aware notion. So, and it came out after this game. So
this is where I think we should say, if you want to see the ending for yourself, go ahead and look at the archives or anybody's videos on it, or play for yourself. But the ending is essentially the reason. Yeah, the reason why you're going through this with Steve is because the way they make serial killers, I don't know why they're making serial killers. They don't get into any of this, but the way they do it in this future society or whatever is your character Steve is actually on a table, like in a floaty bed or something, with a machine hooked up to him, and so is the other girl in Harvest, Stephanie, and they are putting this world into your head to make you become desensitized to violence in real life, so he can become a serial killer. And the last thing you have to do is you either choose whether you kill Stephanie and get released back into the real world because you took an actual life, like they will kill her in the real world and make her feel all the pain and stuff, then you're completely responsible. So you are a killer in real life. Or you can say, fuck you, basically, and you quote-unquote marry Stephanie, and they unplug both of you, you're both dead, and your minds are forever in Harvest together.
Right, so it's kind of damned either way. But, like, so really, like, it seems the ending they want you to like see is the dark, horrible ending where it's like kid playing on his computer and he has already become a killer because of the game.
Right.
Like I think that
Right.
that totally threw me off. Like there's like a severed finger in his stomach or something, and you're just like, what the fuck was that? And it's like, no, dude, it's implying that this murder that takes place in a car that
right after
wasn't
that happens.
like that was real world Steve, like
Mhm.
before he went back home to finish playing his video game Harvest. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so. But I guess this whole thing about being jacked in to a virtual world, like in a sensory deprivation kind of tank, is just like, oh, Matrix, Existence, like late 90s sci-fi. And it's like, this came out in 96, and you're just like, oh shit. Like, it's like, in theory, could be one of those, like, oh man, I got to adjust my timeline. Like, this is a pop culture thing that predates this other thing, but it just is like, no, I don't think this actually would have been a thing either of those creative people saw before they did their thing. Like, it's kind of a minor blip, maybe, but I don't know. Like, was this game popular in its day? Do you know?
No, not very.
Okay.
Most games of this sort weren't very popular during that time.
Mm.
You have to remember, 96, you had the era of Super Nintendo games that were great, like coming to an end, and the new hotness was the PlayStation.
That's, and like, I guess to some extent N64 stuff, but I mean, PC, I'm trying to think what was going on in 96. Like, Dark Forces came out in 95.
PC
like,
always had their, like, master race gamers ever since the, like, early 90s or whenever they started forming weird PC clubs and stuff like that.
Right. So, like, gaming was pretty distinct on the PC.
It was very split. The console gamers were console gamers, PC gamers were PC gamers, sort of thing. Where the PC gamers, like, for their crowd, this doesn't seem like something they might have gone through at that time. But I honestly don't know. At that time, I wouldn't have considered myself a PC gamer, since I basically played whatever console my parents were gracious enough to give me money for.
Yeah, I guess at age 9 is what I would be in 96. Like, I was very much a console kid, but I would kind of marvel at my friends' PC games. Like, I would visit my friend, and it would be like we'd be playing graphic adventure games and stuff. Mostly, like, LucasArts stuff. I never saw weird, dark, digi effects craziness. But, like, I was kind of blown away that there was, like, that much voice acting and that kind of, like, at the time, I was like, oh man, this is like animation quality. This is like watching TV or something. This is crazy. Like, this is interactive. Oh man. Some of those, like, honestly, some FMV stuff I remember was like Rebel Assault 2. Like, that blew my mind then. Looking at it now, it's like just as gross and low res and terrible as all those.
Just kind of amazing.
Yeah, like, just like super stilted, but like, it's a real dude. But that doesn't make it, like, look real in terms of what's going on. Like, it's kind of very, like, the seams are everywhere in terms of the presentation, but they were still kind of interesting games.
I can give you a basic idea of what people think of this game if you want, looking at the Metascore here.
I saw the Metascore yesterday, yeah.
It's 53 is the Metascore, but the user score is 7.5. And I think this is the perfect game to just show that split between user and, like, the critics, where the critics are trying very hard to look at something objectively on behalf of the consumer, and they see something that maybe doesn't feel as complete and polished as it should for the time and blah, 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 where the users are like, no, this is just stupid fun.
And it's $6, like, whatever.
Right.
Like, at that price point, it's just like, you're either interested in this or you're not. And, like, even if you buy it and you're like, man, this is kind of lame, you don't feel like totally just like, oh, what? I can't believe I blew my gaming budget this month on Harvester. I fucked up. Right. It's just like, nah, whatever. Like, it's, like, I don't know if watching you play it, I'm more or less inclined to check it out personally, but I maybe a little bit more, like, just being like, how up its own ass is this game in terms of its writing, or is it actually kind of...
It doesn't take itself seriously.
Okay.
At all.
Good,
and
I guess.
It can't. With some of the stuff it tries to pull off. If it did, it would be ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Like,
in relation to Harvester, I don't know, not necessarily, but I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing to see. And hey, Plug the channel a little bit. Plug that hitbox. Check it out.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, exposure on everything basically, so that includes hitbox.
But hey, if you're listening to Pixel Response After Dark, you already know. Welcome to the cool club. Oh,
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, as for me, I don't know. Yesterday, outside of that, I was clothes shopping. It's pretty exciting, right? It's nice and dark.
You know what?
Horrible.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, I got this new hoodie. It's a baby blue kind of color. It's kind of. I wanted the yellow one, but they didn't have it in large. They're gonna phone me if they get one in. I should probably think of something more interesting to talk about. I went to a cool diner. Man,
I can
no,
talk about something else if you don't have anything.
Well, I mean, I have little, like, it was a nice day. I guess that's just kind of the summary of just, like, I had a good day out. We went to...
Besides, like, almost choking.
Yeah, other than that part, that was late in the day. Right. Most of the day was plain sailing. I guess, I'm trying to think if it's just too confined. Well, whatever. I went to an art exhibit. I'll talk about that.
Okay.
It was kind of...
At which place?
There's this place in Inglewood called the Esker Foundation.
Yeah.
They just kind of host exhibits, and you just walk in there. Like, you don't pay or anything. It's just like, hey, there's art. Do you want to see art? If you want to see art, we were happy that you're here, so welcome. And it's just like, okay.
Sure.
I don't know. I kind of dig that place, and I'm not sure. It's also like kind of weird and mysterious to me. It's like, who is this like wealthy local benefactor person who can just blow millions of dollars on weird exhibits? Like, they must be evil or something.
There's a whole bunch of places that do that. There's a bunch of places that hold exhibits for free.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we used to have to go through them for college. It was always boring.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
When you have to do it for school,
I guess terrible. So. Like, this is totally a voluntary, like, hey, we're at this cool diner we wanted to check out, and we're really close to this thing. Let's go do that.
Sure,
like, okay.
That's completely different, because you're kind of going through at your own pace. You're not meticulously pining over like what this idiot down the street drew on his napkin.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, a lot of this exhibit was like an Albertan artist, Tiesenhouse, I think his name is, Peter von Tiesenhouse. And It's just like, I mean... At some point, it's just like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I'm not going to, like, sit here and overanalyze this section of log with nails in it. Like, that's just kind of a weird little thing.
Don't try to overanalyze these rhymes. In this song, I say fuck 93 times.
Exactly.
Like, you don't want to... ICP.
Yeah, like, kind of take that mentality of just, like, it's just a thing. It's there, you kind of appreciate it. Visually, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything that really, really resonated.
If I ever got to be like a popular artist or something, like with the exhibits, I would totally have on the plaque beside something that was totally bullshit that I did the night before. Don't try to analyze this piece. I say fuck 93 times or something.
It's just like, it's really interesting. We try to find every fuck in this art piece, but people only found one? I don't really understand. It's like, what did the artist mean by that? Decades after you're around, they'll try to kind of figure you out.
When the Juggalos take over the world, I will be heralded as the greatest artist of all time.
Right. And then there'll be some kid who totally knows. It's just like, no, it's an ICP song. Like, what? But it's like, shut up, you. He's a great artist. He's a great artist.
That's what I would have to do, is that on a canvas, just do a bunch of lines, and then I would just for the purpose of making it rhyme. So it would say, don't try to analyze these lines. In this piece, I say fuck 93 times.
Right. And it's just like, at some points they cross over, so it kind of looks like an F, but I don't know. Yeah. Right. There you go. That's a exhibit right there. No, honestly, there were like a few things in it that definitely made me go, wow, art is basically just like totally subjective. Like, you could just put whatever you wanted here and set it up with, like, okay. So I guess the one piece that I'm talking about in this sense is, you walk into a room, there's a circular couch in the middle of the room, and there's like just great surround sound speakers all around the room, right? And there's just kind of weird audio playing, like just layered audio, like 4 layers of kind of just sounds. And then you go around this corner in the room, and you see that you kind of see the source of what made these sounds originally. And there are 4 screens, and on each of them is kind of a different stage in this process of basically I guess it's a CCV machine. It is basically an auto carver. Like you just kind of type into a computer, like carve this shape, and then you put a block of wood there, and it does it for you. So that's a little weird that, if you're going to then present that carving as like, look at this art I made. And it's like, that's kind of, you didn't do anything. Like you scanned your face or something, but that's the point of this machine, like whatever.
Right.
But point of this thing is the sound effects are like that saw and like those kind of drill bits and stuff slowed down and kind of layered over each other and whatever. So it's just kind of like, oh, that is the source of these sounds. But I'm just like, the thing I'm really appreciating is like this cool circle couch and like this cool audio setup. Like you could kind of pipe whatever audio you wanted through here and it would be weird. So I don't know if
right.
like honestly, my example was like, well, this is just some local benefactor thinks Peter Von Tiesenhaus is really cool. If I was in this position, it's just like, I think Mega 64 is really cool. I'm going to play 4 of their videos simultaneously and layer the audio weird and then have this really cool comfy couch. And then, who's to say that's not art? I'll call the exhibit the Internet 64.0. There you go.
Honestly, now. Okay, so what you just said right now, right?
Yeah.
Imagine going to a school where you were graded based on those merits and how infuriating that is.
Wait, like based on actually taking it seriously, or what I just said could have been an essay? What do you mean? Oh, okay.
Okay, so
like
specifically,
I
spending all night working on something for like the critique you had the next day in class.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude that came in with like a piece of paper with a robot drawn in it and some bullshit story he made up because he was hungover, gets a better grade than you.
Yeah, oh man, I guess I kind of had that experience one time where I put a lot of thought into this one like high school project where I was like trying to put a bunch of quotes on like this silhouette marching businessmen thing. I spent a lot of time on it, and then it was just kind of like, hey, yeah, your explanation was a little weird, though. Dock you a full letter grade. And
actually, that was another thing, too. Imagine having a cool concept in your head, pulling it off for what you thought was perfect, and then when you're describing it, you get marked down because it's too, what's the opposite of simple?
Too overanalyzing your own thing?
I think you're overthinking it or something. It's just
it's my own thing. Those are the thoughts I put into it. And it's like, you're not allowed to say that, actually.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying that is if you're going to art school, get your money back as soon as you can because you're going to get fucked.
Or like art teachers are kind of just full of bullshit. Like there's no real...
You know why people go to art schools, though?
What's that?
People go to art schools so they can interact with other people that are like-minded and find some contacts. That's the only reason.
Did you find some cool contacts?
I met some cool people there, but to be honest, I dropped out after the second semester of the second year because I was just like, this is too much. This is just bullshit.
Oh, okay.
So in that time, we didn't have to declare what our major was going to be yet, so I didn't meet anybody in a field because I didn't want to choose a field.
Ah.
Yeah, so the first year was open studies, basically. Like, you choose class. The first year is you have to do art history in both semesters. You have to do a program that was called Art and Design Now, which is basically how to look at art and critique it sort of thing. So there was a lot of bullshit in that I won't even begin to explain. And then other than that, you needed to choose a drawing course of some sort. Other than that, it was open. So you could take like sculpture or printmaking or painting or anything else. But you needed those 3 prerequisites of art history, art and design now, and drawing, either technical drawing or artistic drawing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. That is such a waste of time and money. I can't believe that the government funds schools like that. It's just amazing to me.
It is, I don't know, like observing quote unquote art, like art that is just universally considered art for some reason definitely
Sure.
makes you kind of scratch your head sometimes. It's just like, I don't what criteria are people like, is this thing actually moving people? Like, are people looking at this and then having like deep life-changing thoughts and revelations come to them somehow? Or
There
are they
were
just like,
actually
it's a
eras.
silo. It's a 6-minute video of the inside of a silo. And it's just like, okay. Like,
There were actually eras and stuff. Art history was kind of cool for this, like appreciating what old art did,
yeah.
and the reason why there was a renaissance and like so much art coming from the European nations and like France and stuff like that is
Mm-hmm.
because there was such tyranny and people hated like the politics and religion and everything so much, or loved religion and the politics so much, that the only way they could get their feelings and points across were through these cryptic things that were basically like them putting together a picture, but everybody else that was in the know knew that this meant that like we should take down the hierarchy. You know
So
what I
there's like
mean?
symbolism and kind of subversive thoughts hidden in there,
Right,
and like
exactly. And
multi-layered meanings.
there's some paintings of like Christ and stuff like that, and when you learn why there's certain like composition and why there's certain people also in this picture and stuff like that, it's actually a really dark image that's really
Mm-hmm.
disturbing when you know like the background behind why everything's put together this way. But then
Okay.
again, at the same time, you have Michelangelo doing the Sistine Chapel, which is just kind of hoity-toity God created us stuff for commission.
Right.
So
And
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
dude, he was like lying on his back for years, and you're just like, I know that's crazy, but there's not a lot going on here. But it's nice, but there's not a lot going on here. But it's okay, like it sounds kind of almost like narrative paintings are,
Yeah.
of value maybe. Like there's interesting stuff to be found there. Whereas like some just purely formal exercises of just like it's red. Oh, okay. I like that color. What is this? Like Rothko? That is a dude who gets talked around, or
They're
just sounds like the 60s, you know,
yeah,
pop art
they're
entering the scene.
in a way that's kind of an interesting era too, because that was very much an artistic rebellion against what people thought art was.
So it's
So
like
like
there's
when
this
people
established art, and now we're going to be anti-establishment.
well when people like would see the works of Monet or like Michelangelo and Da Vinci and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that was like in that era that they painted in, recreating what you saw basically and the human figure and stuff was the utmost importance. Then when artists start getting pissed off that people only thought this of art, they're going to start throwing paint at canvases and stuff. It was almost like a backlash towards what has been known as art for so long, and that's why we got those weird movement eras and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I think art these days, I'm if anything, I feel it's lazy now because
Hmm.
technology has made everyone lazy. There's no more thought into anything. Everything's digital collages of some sort.
I mean,
But
some of the stuff I was seeing was like video art, but it was basically just like, yeah, this is like a bunch of like, it's like six, yeah, like this is a video which is pretty easy to shoot nowadays. It is digitally shot, and it is kind of doing weird tweaks with the audio and stuff, but like I don't know if you could get away with this unless you did some other stuff. Like this guy also did a bunch of big elaborate carvings and kind of stuff. It's like, you have to get your foot in the door, and then once you're in, you can do whatever you want.
that's right.
It
Yes.
seems to be like it's just like, you can't tell if they're phoning it in or if it's a brave new thing at some point, and then that's where it all falls down in some way. But some of the stuff I saw was kind of interesting. Like there was another like artist's work. Well, okay. How do you feel about photography?
Is this a serious question?
A little bit. Like, is snapping a picture?
Dude, I went to school for photography and I did photography for my like final for like that got me into art school was because I did 3 years of photography in high school.
Okay, so very valuable then.
It was
Okay, but like for
there was a
documenting
time
life or for kind of
for everything. There
okay,
was a time when it was
like an
the most
arranged
important
composition or just
thing for
finding.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
like I guess I kind of, sorry to kind of inadvertently rag on anything. I guess there were a bunch of pictures of these weird air vents in the city of Prague.
Okay.
And it's just like, I don't know who to kind of say I found it interesting to. Like, is it the guy who took pictures of the things that exist? Or is it the mysterious architect who built all of these strange vents in Prague?
It was both. It was the mysterious architect that built them in Prague, but also the way that it was composed in the photo that actually drew your attention to them, and they weren't just air vents as you were walking by the street.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't have to visit Prague now. Like, it's like someone went to Prague and selected a slice of Prague that they thought was cool and shared it with
Sure,
me. So
absolutely.
thanks to that guy for doing that. Absolutely. But, like, the thing, like, the big question mark I have now is just, like, how weird it is that there was a city designer in that city that built all this weird stuff and no one knows who they were. Like, that's kind of cool.
It's because the way they did it was just for the necessity at the time. It's not because they wanted to make great art necessarily, right?
Sure, yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure they just got paid by the dude who owned that building. It's like, I need vents, and then they knocked a wall out through a bunch of stucco or something there.
Well, like, if you see these vents, they have, like, a weird look to them. They were kind of being described as brutalism in the writing there, like the kind of...
Do you remember the photographer's name?
I don't. I apologize. Okay. I'm sure it's prominently on the kind of Esker description of this whole exhibit they put together, because it's kind of 3 different artists that are kind of a similar, theme or whatever. But, yeah, that was 3 different artists, or was it just 2? Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, no, there was a series of kind of, like, photo animation of this weird-looking, like, bunch of buildings in Italy. They were, like, public-funded housing projects, but they were, like, these really strange, like, step-looking buildings with, like, weird crisscrossing hallways in between them and stuff. Like, it looked like...
So was it I'm sorry to keep interrupting your thoughts. I'm just kind of interested here.
Yeah.
Was the whole thing about brutalist architecture?
The series of photos were, for sure. Yeah.
Just okay, but not the whole.
No, and it was kind of like urban landscapes versus kind of more rural kind of like nature versus urban stuff. Yeah, it's kind of the rural world meets city stuff and kind of just places, and I don't know. I should have digested more of the kind of writing around the thing, as opposed to just, oh, there's a weird looking bell made of wood, cool, I'm gonna sit in this chair, like, like kind of just casually enjoying some art. I am not learned in these kind of mediums, so I was just kind of enjoying it as best I could.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, like finding some things quite interesting. Like, just like, I had no idea buildings like this existed, let alone they were not at all regarded as interesting architectural marvels. They are instead the slums of this part of Italy. Like, it's just like, yeah, this is publicly funded. Like, the drug dealers deal drugs here, and this whole part of the city kind of fell apart. And you're just like, that's kind of too bad, because this building looks crazy. Like, it was almost reminding me of, like, Mega City 1, like, peach trees, kind of weird look to, like, just people living in this strange building. But yeah, some things to be enjoyed. Like, I had an interesting time, but I guess I apologize for not being able to relay too much info about the photographer, or like what the kind of...
No, I'm getting a better picture in my mind now what you meant, though.
Okay.
We're talking about the vents.
Yeah.
Brutalist architecture has a very weird look to it.
Yeah, it's
a very back in the Cold War, like when Russia would do those like propaganda posters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's basically what brutalist architecture is in building form, where it's just like, we're a very strong nation sort of thing. It's very weird and out there.
Like hard edges and just kind of almost like a medieval towers look to some of these things. Like there was a point where it's like, this is like almost like the top of Soren's tower, but it's like an air vent in this city.
Sure, or like things that are very sturdy, very strong, or maybe could be used as weaponry for a giant or something.
Sure, like just this is a robot's head or something. It just looks weird.
It is, yeah.
But it like, just kind of think like, man, that city must be so distinctive. Like I walk through like,
Sure.
I don't know if there's like a visual thing I associate with Calgary. Like we have really unique like our sidewalks are out of this world, or our lampposts or whatever. Like it's just, I don't know, it's a city. There's buildings and like, I don't know. That said, part of like old Calgary, like Ramsey stuff we were driving through, like there's some weird houses. Like, it was just like this giant blue like just rectangle. And it's just like, there's no window. Like what is that? What would the inside of that building look like? Like it's probably just the weirdest place.
Probably empty or something.
Yeah, I know.
Like
it's probably just kind of sad. But like, it made me curious. Like it was like, I have lived in this city like most of my life. I've never seen this, and I don't know what's in there.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Like maybe there was some things to be had there for sure. Like I don't know. I guess if I'd encourage to drop by if you want to check it out. You don't have to. It's not an assignment. It's just I thought it was a cool thing going on right now. So there you go. Outside of that, I watched some films and stuff. But you said you had something else you wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how I was playing DayZ?
Yeah, you really enjoy the DayZ. I've heard. Yeah. I've heard.
Kind of. There's problems with it, but I overlooked
conceptually, you kind of really find something cool there. Yeah.
So I've been playing a game called Nether.
Oh, I know.
How do you know this?
Well, today was one of the few days where I was like, I'm sitting here, I want to play some South Park. Oh, never mind. So.
Oh, I apologize.
It's totally fine. Thank you very much for sharing your video games. Please don't deny me based on my snarky little thing I just said. Please don't. But back away from that button. But yeah, no, that was the thing. It was fine. I ended up doing something else. But sorry to kind of hijack your story with my reaction to your story. Nether, what is it? Yeah. Apparently, it's compelling because you were playing it quite a bit.
Okay. So Fallout 3.
Yeah, I played some of the Fallout 3.
Imagine something like Fallout 3, toned down, obviously, because it's kind of like an indie development team, and they're still in alpha, early access, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And that mixed with DayZ. That's what Nether is. So it's a first-person survival, first-person shooter, like a first-person shooter survival game, and you're in this urban landscape, a desolate urban landscape with other people and also creatures that can attack and kill you.
Okay.
And you're struggling for survival sort of thing. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called Nethers, the creatures. Mm-hmm. So there's a PvE element where they can attack you. There's different types of them, and they can teleport and do all this weird shit that's really annoying. But they also drop items sometimes. So like from one of them, I got a gun.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And there's the PvP element of there's different tribes in this game. It doesn't cost you anything to join a tribe. Or you can stay neutral or whatever. But like there are territories that as a tribe you can take over sort of thing. So it's kind of like you're fighting other tribe members for like this area sort of thing. At the same time, you're trying to survive against these nethers that are attacking you and stuff like that. So in theory, it sounds kind of okay, right?
Yeah, that sounds potentially interesting, I guess. A post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
Early access means that it's not very well implemented in a lot of ways.
So do you just mean like the wiping of characters and stuff? Do they do that kind of thing? Or just like new build, it's all gone?
So when you die, you're dead. Your character's dead and you start another one.
Okay.
The problem is everything that you picked up is now gone, and all of the levels, because there's a leveling system you have accrued, are gone. So it is very much a roguelike in that way.
Isn't DayZ kind of that too, though? Like all the stuff you get is just kind of, well, you're dead now. Like you're dead. You are a new person. Like
yeah,
when
but
that happens, right?
In DayZ,
there's a finality to death.
There is, but there's no leveling system, and I think that's why it feels more like a kick in the nuts.
Okay.
You progressively get stronger and then when you die, you have to start back
Like
at
there's
a different
literally
stage.
no value in what happened carried over to the next version of your player or whatever. Like that's just
Because like last night I was playing, I got up to level 17 with somebody, and then I was walking through the city trying to get back to a safe zone, and some asshole just popped me in the head in the back.
Mhm.
So now here I am, my weapons are all gone, the ammo I had that I was trying to return to put in my like stash sort of thing in the safe zone and all that stuff, and here I am back as a level 1 with a butcher knife.
And like
Everything's
there's
gone.
no way to kind of, well, I know where my corpse is, I can go salvage my stuff or anything, or
You can, if it wasn't for the fact that that other guy stole all your shit.
well, okay, but I'm honestly like my only kind of point of reference is maybe Zombie U on this of like you get to kind of roll a new player every time you die. Like, could you like do you not have exclusive access to like your like stash
No.
or
No. When
anything?
you die, everything flies everywhere and they can pick up whatever they want.
But like you said, you were trying to get some ammo back to your stash. Like, do you have a safe zone or something? Or
I do. Yeah. But okay, so there's a bunch of safe zones throughout the city. They're not always safe because when the Nether devices or whatever go down, the Nethers can attack and it's no longer a safe zone because they're attacking you.
okay,
But yeah, there's two things. On each player you have like your bags, your inventory, and that's what you're carrying with you. When you die, everything there gets dropped.
mm-hmm.
You also, when you are in certain areas in safe zones, you can open up your global inventory, which is like your stash. So when your
Across
character dies,
characters, like just kind of
right? But the problem is
universal.
if you take something out of there into your bags for this other character and you die, it's gone,
Right.
sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, I like that system because Daisy didn't have that in the alpha build yet.
Okay.
So when you died, that was it, sort of thing. You started completely fresh. This, at least, there's some leeways like, well, I got back to town, sort of thing. I was able to stash all these weapons and ammo I got, and now I'll go out explore a little bit more. Oh, I'm dead. All I lost was my backpack and knife, which you start off with.
Okay.
So
So
at
you
least
you
there's a
didn't
little bit
lose
better.
like 10 hours of progress. You lost like 90 minutes of.
In a way, also, I will say that the leveling up system is fast. When you kill one thing, you're level 2. Sort of
Okay.
thing. And then like after 2 things, you're level 3. I got to level 17 because I sold a bunch of stuff that I was carrying,
Okay.
and you get experience and money for selling stuff too.
Hmm. It's
So
kind of
it's
this weird. Sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna.
No, I was just ending that thought with it's easy enough to level up. It's still just a pain in the ass.
Well, I guess like the thrill of leveling up is kind of fun though, right? So maybe they're trying to go for like a Risk of Rain or like Don't Starve kind of thing, where it's like doing it all again, you get to go up that ramp again.
I
However,
think
for
it
me
makes it
personally, both of those
there's
games,
too much though in
yeah,
there where it's like you have the PvP element, you have the PvE element, you have the co-op element, you have all this stuff. You don't need to add the roguelike I feel like shit now element as well.
hmm. What do you think? Like, I don't know. I like just the way you're describing some of it definitely makes me think like, oh, did like Demon Souls and Dark Souls just kind of kick off this like renewed realization that players are okay with dying and are willing to put up with it, sort of, like trying to push
I
that envelope, or is that
I'm
kind of
not sure. Also another
unfair to
problem with
think
the
that?
dying here.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
of all, when you're in a game with other people, the guy with the gun is the god, right?
yeah.
Whatever they choose to do, whether it's pop you or help you, they're gonna succeed because
Okay.
you don't have a gun. So the fact that they're behind you, they get to decide whether you live or die. That's just how these games go with Daisy, with Rust, with any of these survival games. That's just it. So
Mhm.
that's fine. The problem I am having is that there are times where you go into a zone and a Nether spots you, and all of a sudden you seem overrun with like 8 of them, and you can't take them on. Adversely, there are times where you're exploring everywhere for an hour and a half, and you haven't seen a single enemy. There's no balance there at all. It's either a lot or nothing.
Hmm. And like
And
desolate is cool and all, but at some point it's just like there's nothing going
but
on.
the thing is, how am I going to level up to kill stuff if the only time I can kill stuff is by trying to systematically take on an army with a knife?
Right, right. Like it should be kind of more sparsely distributed enemies or something that are,
Like
yeah.
let like and
I
let
mean,
it
it's
scale to people in my party. If I'm in a group of 5 people, eight things should spawn. There should be a decent enough fight that we could possibly die, but we could also win because there's 5 of us. That's only like 2 guys you have to worry about each, basically, with like a floater in between helping out. But it doesn't do that. You're one person, like 8 guys can appear, or you can be 10 people and 8 guys will appear. There has to be some balance, and
I
there's
guess honestly, like I'm just kind of thinking this is an early access game. Is there any kind
yeah.
of, hey, it's a developer forum. Like if you wrote out what you just
Yes.
said, would it be like, oh, thank you very much for your input. Like we're gonna look into
I
that.
haven't read the forums yet, but I'm sure this has been something that's been talked about because it's at a point where it's a little ridiculous. You can feel very strong and not find anything, and like this last session before I called it quits today, sort of thing. I was with a friend. We were going through an abandoned subway or something. We found a shotgun, 2 handguns, bullets for everything, and a machine gun, and didn't
Like,
find a single thing to kill for an hour.
oh, okay. I was about to be like, oh man, huge score, but it's like, yeah, but it's kind of all dressed up and nowhere to go. Like, what do you
Right.
do?
So
Okay.
what we did is we ran back, we put it in our stash and logged off. So now when we go back out, that at least we have gear for like more searching or whatever. But it has this problem that DayZ also had, where it's like, well, I don't want to do anything now. Like I'm leveled up, I feel good. I feel good about my character. I have these great weapons. If I go out there, some asshole's just gonna pop me in the head and take everything. So I don't want to play.
Mm,
I don't know. It's a weird balance. I don't think they've struck it yet, and I'm getting sick of, oh, this is early access being the only excuse for not having a good enough like beta sort of thing. And I gotta say, when they say these are alpha builds, they're not. An alpha build is a proof of concept with like squares and circles that work functionally but aren't prettied up. This is a beta in that it is a fully functioning game with network support, with like friends support sort of thing,
like
with
textures and
weapon,
everything. Like it seems like pretty fully
everything.
formed
It's
in
a
a lot
full
of
game,
ways.
and they're calling it early access and an alpha because that way people won't scrutinize it, and I think that's bullshit.
It's kind of weird, like, having a certain sense of what software actually looks like. Like, if you look at, like, early development Braid type stuff, like, there's no art assets or anything. It is just, like, the puzzle works. Like, that's all that's working. This is a circle. Like, it's going to be something else later. But, like, yeah, the way it's used now is kind of more. I mean, it's a loose definition. It's all Notch's fault, really. Like, God damn it. That
I
guy.
think his was an alpha though, but it was just like the problem is when you're talking about alphas with like a voxel based game is that everything's square anyway.
Right.
So that
It's
is
like,
like
it's not going to look better, but that's fine. Like, that's not why
that
you're
is the programmer art, right?
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
it's just voxels, so whatever.
And it's
Sort of
super
thing.
weird to see that in like Lego play sets and on t-shirts, and it's just like, okay, like it's not even I'm still gonna read
That's
that
not
book though. I'm still gonna
that's
read
not
that.
even
Yeah. Like what are you kids doing? Lego. Anyway.
but
Uh
like thinking back on alphas,
okay. Like actual
they're
true.
the best, most dressed up alpha, I think. Like I'm pretty sure we both saw it was at PAX. Was it 2 years ago now? I guess
Which game?
it was. I'm actually just trying to remember the name of the game. It was the
Okay,
one where you
describe
took
it, I guess.
words and used them as platforms or like devices for moving stuff in the world.
Oh yeah. No, I remember talking to that team and stuff, but I'm trying to remember what the actual name of the game was. They had like a jester as their mascot. Hmm.
Well, there was 3 of them, and like one was a knight, one was a jester, and the other was
Lo and Behold
something.
Games or something? Is that?
Lo and Behold Games. That's completely right. I'm
Okay,
just
so
trying to
look
remember.
them up, and then their game name should be there. But yeah, yeah. That said, I was kind of
Mental drift.
okay. Like that looked like it would need a lot more to become like more than just a level in a platformer kind of thing.
No, but that was an alpha.
Yeah, like this is
It's
like
just kind of
you
like
have a cool
stock
idea,
art.
this part works, and you're just like, okay, like that's an interesting early kernel. I will check in later, like it's
And honestly, if they tried to sell that what we played for like $5, I would tell them to go fuck themselves.
well, it's I mean the same problem we had with that shooter, where it like the whole thing was
Receiver.
how realistic the game, like
Receiver.
yeah, exactly, where it's just like $5, like this is kind of clearly the product of a jam, like this is barely we've had that conversation of just kind
Yeah,
of like
we don't
paying
need
too
to have
much.
that conversation again. But
Yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is that maybe the public needs to be more aware of what an alpha actually is.
Mhm.
And a fully fledged, textured out game that works properly with network support and like weapon drops and enemies AI and stuff. This is not an alpha. It's
Right.
very much a beta that you are paying to get into. So it's not a closed beta. It is open to everybody with money. And as such, since you bought it and it is in beta form, they should be fixing it. Like they can't be hiding behind this. No, it's an alpha build. It might change. It's like it won't change. I think that's why I'm getting pissed off, is because I know
Well,
that it won't get much better from here.
Oh, okay. Like you're saying the fundamentals are too faulty, and that's apparent already.
Yeah, exactly.
That is alarming. I guess I was gonna kind of rebuttal a bit by being like, well, we were just describing like basically unfinished prototypes that were being charged money. At least this has that work done. Like it has textures,
There
has
is that.
full weapons and all this kind of stuff.
Can I describe some other things I have a problem with? Just if
Yeah,
we're talking from a
get it out.
business standpoint.
Vent it away.
Okay, so the game you buy, right?
Mhm.
Early access, whatever, you buy, there's different tiers. I think you can pay like $15, $25, and like 35 or something. As I'm kind of filling and vying for air here as I'm talking. I'm actually trying to look it up so I can tell you for sure so I don't sound like a complete idiot.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's the three different things. It's 15, 21, okay, $14.99, $21.99, $34.99. I went ahead and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna buy the $34.99 one because why not?
Like
it's
bigger's better.
$30.
Yeah, that's not that full priced games are 60. So hey,
Well, and what it came with was 5 72-hour guest keys, so I could play with some friends and see if like we could actually get this going,
okay.
sort of thing. So, okay, so it's a game you buy. This is what I'm getting into right now. And you know what? I'm a total asshole. I apologize to the makers of this game. They specifically say here it's not alpha, it's beta.
Oh wow. Okay.
I feel like a
So-
complete asshole.
Welcome to Pixel Response After Dark, our first editorial.
Well, the
notes.
problem is everybody that says early access here says it's an alpha. These guys haven't. So they're
Okay.
fully aware this is a beta.
So there you
and that
go.
it's-
Prior, like 10 minutes ago, Paul apologizes. Like,
I do
Nether-
apologize for that.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
tell
more
you something
transparent.
I'm not going to apologize for.
Okay.
There are different tiers. You can buy the game or whatever. You buy the game.
Yeah,
They have free-to-play bullshit in there.
in the paid $35 one.
They have
It's like, hey, buy this thing.
microtransactions.
Oh man.
Do you want me to tell you what the microtransactions are?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there are two different types of currency in this game. There is money, like dollars, and you just pick that up in the world, or like you accumulate it by leveling up and blah, blah, blah. It's money.
Yeah. Okay.
There is also gold coins.
Oh,
Now,
damn it. Okay.
when I tell you gold coins, right?
Yeah.
Let's say any other game, let's just go off the bat here and say 100 gold coins. What do you think that would cost if you thought free-to-play bundle?
If I thought shitty free to play bundle,
100 coins.
I'm gonna say like either 50 or $100.
It would be $100. One gold coin in this game is one real-life dollar.
That's like as bad as it goes, and that's free to play stuff, man. Okay.
So, in a way,
how
okay.
valuable is this current? Like, will one gold coin get you hella cool crap, or not really?
okay, Well, it's a lot of aesthetic stuff, and that's the way it should be.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. If you want to pay money to make your character look different or to have a weird helmet or a mask, by all means, give them your money for your aesthetic joy
Like
or
Dota
whatever.
does it, like Valve has kind of established this whole
This is
thing.
your game. Like, if you want your character to look a certain way, sort of thing, and you will always have that when you respawn, sort of thing. So you will
Yeah.
always have that option. Go
Okay.
ahead. I don't mind that. There are things in this game called keys,
Mm-hmm.
and when you want to buy keys, it's either 2,500 in-game dollars, which the highest amount I've had after a couple hour session was $400.
Jeez, okay.
So for 5 keys, you can pay the in-game amount of $2,500, which will probably take you like a full day's worth of sessions. Or you could pay 2 gold coins. You could pay $2. Now, what do keys get you, you ask, right?
Yeah,
Well,
like
in the world, there are different things that you can search for items or like equipment or food or whatever. These things range from sleeping bags to crates to like in the back of trucks, sometimes you'll find like gun like cases, stuff like that. Some of them can be locked and you need a key to open it.
Is there
And
no lock picking system?
there is no lock picking system. You need a key.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm not even talking about lock boxes or something. I'm
Yeah.
talking about you go up to a sleeping bag and it says you need a key to unlock this.
Oh no. That's like so fiction destroying and like immersion devastating kind of crap. I hate that. Like that's like the vending machines in Far Cry 3, except Far Cry 3 is like a closed system that you pay $60 for and you have the whole game. Like there's
Right.
nothing extra gross on top of it. It's just kind of dumb. Whereas this
Right.
is like, yeah, that's unfortunate. So how much does it cost to unlock the sleeping bag?
Technically, I guess 50 cents
Okay, that's
every time in
like,
a
I
game
mean,
where your survival is based around opening that sleeping bag.
I know, like that's kind of the thing where it's just like that actually just tears it in half. Is like if this game is trying to create a like savage world where you're like struggling to survive and stuff, and then you come across like a locked door or something, even like it's kind of a thing that has bothered me in Fallout in the past. Is like this is a broken wooden door. I can see around it. Like I shouldn't even need to unlock this. Like my lock picking skill not being 90 shouldn't matter because I have a giant boot and I should be able to kick this door open. Like
Right.
fictionally, that was dicey and that was like again a closed system, like full product. Like them kind of gating that in a very arbitrary way like that sounds sad. I don't know. That's I don't like that is happening. But okay. Like I haven't even seen it firsthand. So how much did that bother you? Like are you still going to play or
Let me put it this way. When I'm running through an area and there's like 5 things that are glowing and I can get stuff from one of them and I get a can of soup or something, I'm fucking pissed.
right? I mean, I get from like a financial standpoint why developers are chasing that cuz like
No,
they're
absolutely not. When you are selling a game,
yeah.
you know what? Take out this stupid bullshit $15 thing. Take out the stupid bullshit 22 one. This game is $35, motherfucker. But guess what? You're going to get a game.
Right. Like you're saying that should be the model, like that should be the way. Like no, I'm not saying that it's justifiable in like a moral way. It's just coming out of GDC there was so much talk that like Puzzles and Dragons makes dozens of millions of dollars a month and all this kind of stuff. Like it's like there's money in them thar microtransactions and people are going crazy for it and it's just like it does suck that any remotely talented programmers and artists and stuff are putting their efforts towards something that is so thoroughly undermined by just kind of gross business. And is this like a big publisher making this happen or is this like a small indie kind of being gross?
I haven't heard of them before. They're called Phosphor Games.
Okay.
So, do you know? This is the only
I've
thing.
never heard of that. So
This is the only thing they've put out on Steam ever.
hmm.
So, I
Is
don't
it
know
pretty
what else.
popular? Like, do you know how it's charting right now? Or
You know what? It seems fine.
okay,
Like there's enough people playing it, but I think that might be because in games like Daisy and stuff, you can create your own servers or like you can rent a server. You can potentially like have hundreds of servers, right?
hmm
In this game, they regulate it. I think there's maybe like 20. So it's hard to tell because there's not 100 servers with one person in it. There's only 20 with like 5.
oh, okay.
You know what
So
I
how many
mean?
people are playing simultaneously and stuff? Like, it's a little
There's enough where like sometimes you go on and you'll see one server has 44 out of 64 people,
okay.
which is pretty big. But I don't know. I think it's probably been big enough. It got a lot of traction with some YouTubers that have millions of followers, and no, not PewDiePie before you ask.
Oh no,
I wanted to go back to the gold thing.
okay.
So you know how they combat this problem with the gold or whatever that they're trying to do to make you feel like you're not getting screwed?
How's that? Like, they try to hide it? You're saying there's like some smoke screens?
They
or-
give you gold if you pay more money for the game.
So your $35 tier gets you a bag of gold as well
50 nether gold. They essentially gave me $50
to
worth of
okay.
shit to buy in their game.
How much do you get for the lowest tier?
Okay, I'll just read off the tiers. Let's do
Okay,
that.
let's just get the full details out there.
Okay, so for $14.99 USD, you will get the Watcher Pack, which includes earliest access to Nether, closed beta.
Right.
That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
You will get participation in forums to define upcoming game features.
Okay.
That's it. So next tier,
Okay. I thought that would be a more of a list, but okay.
for $21.99 USD, you will be getting the Believer Pack,
Mhm.
and that includes the earliest access to Nether closed beta. You will get 20 Nether Gold. You will get 3 72-hour guest keys, and you will also get participation in forums to define upcoming game features.
Ooh. Cool.
Now, for the top tier, for $34.99, you will get the I'm a retard and paid too much money for a game I don't particularly love tier, which is also called the Chosen Pack. You will
Okay.
get the earliest access to Nether closed beta. You will get 5 72-hour guest keys.
So 2 more keys for 14 more. Wait. Okay.
You will get participation in forums to define upcoming game features.
Mm-hmm.
You will get 50 Nether Gold.
Ooh.
You will get chosen only exclusive in-game item. And you will get special highlighted name / rank in Nether forum. So people will know that you're an idiot.
Awesome. What was your exclusive item?
You want to know what it was?
What was it? What was it?
It was a fucking mask.
I like masks. Payday 2 has masks.
That's all it was.
Oh. So
It wasn't anything that like helped you at all, like a bigger backpack or something. It was a
just
mask.
purely aesthetic little
That's
trinket.
all it was. Yep.
Okay. But
Beautiful,
only
right?
you can have that mask.
But I got $50 in the game.
So you unlocked so
Basically.
many sleeping bags, dude. It was crazy.
I haven't bought any keys because I'm nervous that if I die with keys, it'll drop.
Ooh, yeah. So maybe that's like the secret way this works is like someone puts money in the system, but then the true players murder and get where they want to go.
You'll just see the Monopoly guy like walking out of town. Everybody's like, "Get him!"
Yeah. It's like that guy's loaded.
He obviously has all the keys. I have a sleeping bag I need to unlock. I'm tired.
I guess it's kind of cool that there's an in-game system that could, EVE Online style have that kind of value to it of just like, dude, this backpack full of keys, and then like that becomes this like in-game legend, and like I don't know, like there are things that you could gain from having value in like real value in some of the stuff going on, but
This is the same
it
problem
sounds like
though
a mixed
that I
mixed
had
proposition, yeah.
this is the same problem I had and have or whatever with the way Dota did their lockboxes
Yeah.
and the way that Mass Effect 3 did their multiplayer bullshit.
Oh, with like the kind of roulette random giveaways.
Because you buy
thing.
a key, you open something, like what if it drops spaghetti noodles? Right? It's
Like,
like,
you just
wow,
get
that was a
total
waste of
garbage.
$2.
Right, like it's just a burn. Like it's just like there's no guarantee this will be good. It's just a thing.
But
So-
maybe they are guaranteed to be good. I don't know. I haven't explored this because I'm scared.
Oh, like the math. Like maybe it's like, oh no, like I've actually never been bummed out by unlocking a sleeping bag, other than how stupid that sounds. Sorry, I just love that. Now it's my favorite thing.
But like,
you know,
the problem is I'm not scared because I won't get anything worth value. I'm scared that when I get something of no value after paying this free money or whatever, and realizing that they are charging people real life dollars for nothing that even helps you in your game, I will probably break my computer in half. So I don't want to worry about that. Right
I guess
now.
I kind of just have a question about this kind of whole thing with like really, really popular alphas that you've heard of. Like you brought up Rust kind of in passing earlier. That is a game that is charting super high on Steam like all the time. Like tons of people are
Is
playing
it? I honestly don't know.
Oh, it was number one for a long time. Like I'm assuming it's
Okay.
doing extremely well. But
That's one I've been wanting to check out, but it's always been a little pricier than I would like to pay.
for kind of this unknown quantity, I guess kind of my question is like how are these games being covered? Like is like the reason, like part of the reason they're being released is kind of like, yeah, it's not done yet, it's not done yet, it's not done yet. Is kind of like this weird kind of smokescreen that prevents them from undergoing critical scrutiny. Cuz like
No, I don't think so. I've been reading some of the reviews or whatever on Steam, and there are people there just like, this isn't an excuse. This is fucking terrible. You guys got to fix this.
Well, like, I mean, community reviews, that's always kind of a valuable resource. And actually, you know, that's actually a 100% great point. Like, that is kind of a thing I turn to more so than Metacritic or something. But say, like, there is no Metacritic score on these games, right? Because they kind of don't exist yet. Is that true? Or do you know?
I honestly don't know. I can find that out for you as you talk about your.
Yeah, like,
right now, though.
I guess I'm kind of just wondering if, like, you know, Metacritic has been in, like, you know, part of Steam for quite a while. You can just like look at the page
Sure.
and it has it, you know, incorporated into this thing. So I'm wondering if it's like to kind of goose sales on Steam, are developers like, well, how do we get around that? You know, like we don't want to have this like bad number.
You're right. There is no score.
Exactly. Like it's kind of this weird get around of just kind of like a lot of publications don't feel comfortable reviewing stuff that isn't done yet because they feel like they're being unfair to the developers or something, or they
Who
have
gives
to.
a fuck if you're charging money for something?
Honestly, I that was kind of just my first sentence on that. Like I'm, you know, maybe it's just kind of like, well, what's the point? Like it's going to change. Like, you know, like Polygon has that kind of adaptive system where they change their score to reflect the current build.
Nobody goes back to a score. Come on.
Well, they're the one that I know at least tries. Like
They try. Okay.
like I'm saying, like I'm thinking back. Like I know there's like an old GameSpot review for like Ultima Online, and it's like a 4 or something because it was really broken at launch. But then I know that game went on to enjoy like a long legacy, so I'm assuming it got good. But that score doesn't tell me that, right? But like, so like that's one problem that can happen of just like you review a thing, but then it gets way better, and you know you're effectively lying to your audience, like you're kind of dissuading them from something cool. Like you don't want to do that, but really you probably should be covering the game anyway, because like people can buy it, people can spend $35 to check out Nether, and outside of just kind of banter and stuff, like there's no hard line on that stuff yet, so it's kind of weird. And yeah, I don't know. Like I guess I'm really glad the community review thing is there to fill the void of just like, look, this guy here played it for 10 hours and he has stuff to say about it. And it's not going to be as like, you know, formal or like a couple paragraphs of like structured content or anything like you'd expect on a paid gaming coverage site. But that's feedback. Like that's stuff, that's information. So maybe that's kind of a good call on Steam's part of kind of making that a part of the thing. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like I'm thinking of like, why are these games kind of existing for so long, and yet I've heard no kind of definitive, this game got a 9 on GameSpy or whatever, GameSpot or Giant Bomb gave it a 4. Like, I don't have that kind of cursory knowledge of like how good it's supposed to be. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Anyway,
there are quote unquote reviews. Rock Paper Shotgun's review line is Meet Nether Phosphor's Daisy Killer.
Great.
IGN's review thing for it is combat feels fast and fluid.
But
Game Zones is this game puts together several elements that aren't commonly seen in MMOs, and even its survival aspect, a theme we've seen a lot lately, is fairly refreshing. That's a lie.
Okay.
There is nothing refreshing about it.
Are there scores on any of these kind of things, or are these just kind of the guy at that website who really likes survival stuff is saying this, and or doesn't even? Like the PC guy who that was his game this week is kind of pretending to know what's going on in the survival game sphere and saying.
So on Rock Paper Shotgun, it is actually just kind of like a news article.
I don't know if they do scores. Like they're kind of a site that I don't know they do scores. They just kind of say things. So
IGN's is basically the same thing.
There's no score?
No, it's just like an article.
Okay.
And Game Zones is a preview sort of thing.
Yeah, like it's this kind of, there are people talking about these games, but there's no kind of like anyone willing to kind of venture you know what, I'm going to put a number on this. This is a 6 or something, or this is a 5, this is a 10. Like no one's out there kind of stamping down something, because like that's something I can react to. Like I disagree with thumbs up, thumbs down, 10s, 4 out of 4s, all that all the time. But then, like, that's an interesting conversation. Like, that's a start of kind of a appraisal process or something. Like, you know, years after the fact, you can be like, you know what, Assassin's Creed 2 actually wasn't that great. It wasn't a 9.5, but whatever. Like, who cares now? Like, it's kind of years in the past, you know, but you have that kind of look at how good it was apparently at the time. Whereas, yeah, if you just have this kind of nebulous murmuring about a game and kind of this general vague sense of like, yeah, it's like this, it's kind of good, I don't know, like there's no real, even now I'm thinking like in the community thing, is there any kind of like 990 out of 1,050 players gave it a thumbs up or something? Like, is there any kind of way to see how good the world thinks it is, or is it just kind of scroll through random reviews?
It's scroll through random. There's the top.
This liked it. This guy didn't. This guy did. This guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In a way, though, that's more correct. That's the more correct way to do it. I don't want the average. I want to see
like aggregates, though, but I don't know why.
Like if I want to look into something enough, I will read like 10 to 20, or whenever I feel like I have a decision made of different opinions.
Okay.
I would rather that. I don't want to see the like 50% sort of thing, because like that doesn't say anything to me. What it says to me is that 50% is either retarded or smart.
Yeah. So, I guess right. Like it is kind of a useless thing. It's maybe just a thing I've gotten used to from like movie websites and stuff. Like, it's just dude, like,
it would be so bad because there are so many. Oh, what was it? I think it's Goat Simulator, where like some reviews are just like, you play a goat 10 out of 10. Like those would be part of the aggregate number.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a review. You know why I don't want to play Goat Simulator? Because it looks like a game where you play a fucking goat.
Well, I kind of don't want to play it because I'm assuming it's kind of a broken physics thing, like Surgeon Simulator, where it's like a one-note joke.
You know what? It is that. You should watch more Total Biscuit.
Does he kind of...
I didn't want to play it, and then after he did a video on it, I really don't want to play it.
Okay.
His basic thing was, it's a one-note joke about, like, it's a broken physics type thing where you play a goat, and it's a one-note joke that I never found funny in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, and he was like, but the reason why it's so popular is because it's bait. That whole game was made for bait for YouTubers and streamers, and it's gotten their attention because it's something silly you don't have to talk about or do anything special with, and people like to watch it for whatever reason because people are retarded.
I mean, in a way, I feel like that's kind of what was happening with Octodad. of just like, oh, it's so silly. You play Octopus Man. And it's just like, it's not very fun to play. That doesn't matter. It's crazy. It's like,
Okay, I wanna end off this talk about Nether quickly because I want to bring something else up.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Octodad. But
no, we're gonna get back into that kind of specifically.
Okay.
So Nether.
So final word on Nether. Paul's gonna put a score on it after he expresses this thought.
I am absolutely not gonna put a score.
God damn it, dude! We could be the first. Pixel response, the first review. Like come on.
Do you want me to put a score on it right now?
Yeah, I do
10?
personally. I want that. I need that feedback, or else I won't know what's going on.
Is it out of 10?
Yes, my scale is out of 10.
Okay, it's a solid 5.5 or 6.
Okay,
somewhere in there.
Okay,
it is. If you, after what I had said about it, if it still sounds like something interesting that you could get into, it plays fine.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fine. It like a lot of things about it are okay, and they're just okay. If you are okay with mediocrity and paying money to do some basic things that you'll want to do, like open up sleeping bags, it's fine. I have to give one caveat though. The early access version of this game is only supported by 64-bit operating systems. So if you're running regular 32-bit Windows or something, you can't play it. Like, I'm sorry, it just won't run.
Oh, okay.
So that's one thing. And also, I feel a little bit bad, and I'm trying so hard to believe in Phosphor Games because I just realized they put out this game called The Dark Meadow on mobile devices, which I have played on my Android tablet, and I like quite a bit for like a tablet game. It's not great.
So you actually do know some of their previous work.
I know that one, and apparently they did Connect Adventures.
Oh, weird.
Or no, wait, they developed one of 5 activities.
Okay. Was it the boat section?
It's where you're like floating in space or something.
Okay. I didn't play
Space
a lot
Pop.
of Connect Adventures. I'm gonna be honest. But okay, we own it.
Okay, so that's Nether. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10. I'm just gonna round down.
Okay. Like honestly, that's where most things end up. And that's just the lame bleh truth of media.
No, like when I say 5 out of 10 for this game specifically, this is like me buying it and playing it the night it came, the night I downloaded it.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 comes from when I played it with 2 other friends.
Okay, so that kind of like inflation that can happen when you do it with other people. Like, hey, this hula hoop's kind of boring, but if you got a bunch of friends and you got a hula hoop contest, it's fun.
That is the weirdest analog I've ever heard you come up with for a video game.
Hudsucker Proxy in stores.
Okay, going back to what you were saying about Octodad, Dadliest Catch, or whatever. And either one of them, really.
Yeah, okay. Wacky YouTube bait games.
I don't know how I feel. How do you feel about this idea that for a game to be successful these days, it only has to appeal to the lowest common denominator of people that stream and have a huge audience?
I think that's a huge bummer.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree with you with Octodad, and I think actually Total Biscuit did like Octodad, which I can't believe, but he's a YouTuber, so at the end of the day, it brought in money, I'm guessing.
Oh, like he wasn't like annoyed with it? He was just like, yeah, it's fun, or whatever.
Actually, I think the videos he did on it, he was playing it with his wife, and they were just having fun with it.
Okay.
So,
like, I mean, there is a weird co-op mode and stuff. Like, whatever. Like, it does goofy stuff. Just as a platformer, it's kind of just clunky, and like the objectives and stuff are just like go collect 6 things, and the only thing making it remotely interesting is the like control scheme's weird. But it's not even like Katamari weird but fun. It is just kind of zany looking, and that doesn't make it fun to play, but I'm sure it makes it fun to watch. Like, that's this weird thing, right? Where it's like the YouTuber is not having an especially fun time, but he's getting a bunch of views because wacky stuff is happening. So it's fun to watch, not to play. That is a weird trend. Like Surgeon Simulator, not fun to play at all. It's terrible.
Honestly, I've come up with this theory that if you put simulator in the title, you probably will sell 1 million copies because PewDiePie will play it. I will tell you over the last 2
Warehouse
weeks.
Logistics Simulator?
I will tell you over the last 2 weeks the videos he's put out because I have his page open right now.
Okay, what's going on the internet?
Okay, Goat Simulator. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giraffe Simulator?
Oh, wow.
Oh, what about this? Ostrich Simulator.
That's even better.
How about Demon Simulator?
That's just kind of weird. Like that, those aren't even real things.
I think that's part of Goat Simulator.
Oh,
Probably.
okay.
How about
goats and
Shrek
Satanism.
Simulator?
Is he just playing Shrek the Third and then titling the video Shrek Simulator?
Honestly, I don't know. They're probably all Goat Simulator. But
okay.
no, like I don't know. It's
Like mods?
there's so many games, it seems, that come out. Like you said, Surgeon Simulator is one of them for sure. Goat Simulator is for sure one. Octodad is 100% it as well. That are catering specifically to this game should be played to an audience because it's silly and they are making a shitload of money for being the lowest common denominator of video games.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel really shitty. I really don't like that at all. It bothers. There's also one he got famous off of actually called Happy Wheels.
Okay.
It's like QWOP, only you're playing bike rider sort of thing, like you're riding a bike.
I
don't
QWOP
know.
is like a weird wrinkle into this whole thing because I don't know. Like there, like isn't there kind of something to subverting control scheme? Like I mean, the coolest thing about Octodad is the control scheme, but what they make you do with the control scheme is kind of tedious and whatever. I don't know. Like I'm kind of like now I'm at a conflicting crossroads where like some of this stuff is kind of actually fun.
You know what? I'm even
it's not
gonna
like
say
QWOP is fun. I'm gonna
even say a game that I thought was fun and liked.
Bennett. Yeah. Okay.
Techno Kitten Adventure.
Right. I played that at your house a couple times.
It's fucking stupid, and it is one of those games that's like you could throw that on a stream and you will get every moron just like clapping their hands or something.
Really?
Probably. Like if
I'm
not saying like you and me.
No,
I'm just saying,
but now that you're saying it, like it's kind of like this dumb fixation with cats the internet has, like just goofy cat videos, and it's just like Techno Kid Adventure. What's that? Oh man, it's flying and there's techno.
The video games that are trying to almost appeal to gamers, just straight out.
Like, I guess
like silly meme stuff and what. Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's gamers
Borderlands
or just
2.
internet world. Sure.
Borderlands 2 has internet jokes in it everywhere. That's probably another one you could get away with streaming and people will clap their hands because they're a bunch of dumb internet plebes.
Like, does Guacamelee? Like, I know they had kind of meme posters in the background and stuff, but it's also kind of a Metroidvania.
That's actually one that Aaron and I played on a stream.
How'd you feel about it? Like, was it a bit much with that stuff, or were you like, that's like background?
It was the first time I had ever played it.
Okay.
I didn't even notice them because I was just playing the game, but I'm sure they're there.
Do you like
sure
that
they're
game?
there.
What's your gut reaction on Guacamelee?
Eh.
Yeah, kind of me too. Like, I stopped playing it. I played it like one session. Okay.
Like silly Mexican jokes?
Mm-hmm. Luchadors. That's crazy. Okay. I guess, yeah, we're kind of getting to this thing of kind of just games catering to, like, certain goofiness or whatever. Like, I don't know. So lately I've been watching, like, long videos of two video game personalities I am familiar with playing. I'm about to basically say.
Call them out.
No, okay. I'm watching Chrono Trigger. So Ryan Davis.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Patrick Klepek played Chrono Trigger like 3 years ago. And, like, that game is not especially fun to watch because it is just a JRPG.
Sure.
But I am still kind of doing that and kind of playing it alongside that and having a time I feel kind of enriched by. Like, I'm laughing occasionally, kind of seeing someone play a game I am interested in a different way than I would and stuff. Like, there's things I am appreciating about it. But
it's their personality.
Yeah. It's also like I listened to both of them on podcasts for quite some time, especially Mr. Davis, of course, who is sorely missed and all that.
Rest in peace.
Yes. But yeah, like I mean, like there's just little things that I feel like, man, that's really funny. I'm really happy I watched this. But like I totally get why this doesn't have the millions of hits that like a 10-minute goofy Goat Simulator video would get, because it's like 40 minutes of people playing Chrono Trigger. Like, of course.
There's also... Okay, so there's a video. One of the channels I follow does a series called Game Theory.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a goofy, quirky sort of like style of video, but there's actual research and stuff behind the stuff they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
And one of them is basically, why is PewDiePie so big? Like, how
Trying
did
to
he break
break down
YouTube?
what is happening.
Yeah, so what happens is when YouTube first started, it was something like anytime anybody clicked a YouTube link, it would count as a view, like that, right?
Ah, okay.
Now, what happens is every time to get a view, somebody has to be watching the video or let the video play out a certain amount of time, like a percentage, because then that is a view. They have watched most of this video.
Do you know what the percentage is? Like,
I think he might have said it. I don't remember, but I don't know either way.
So, like, a good chunk of the video was watched. Now it counts as a view. Let's just guess 50%, but who knows?
It's probably more like 70 or 80. But anyways, so, like, not only that, but YouTube also has this thing called retention, where the more videos that are viewed, like, if you're on somebody's page and then you click, like, the next video, or the next video starts playing in a playlist from them, that shows YouTube that this person is more popular, and that's what brings them up on, like, the things you'll like under gaming sort of thing.
Okay, so it's like people stay on this channel for a little while. Like, it's
right,
not
how
this,
long
like...
you stay on this channel, how much you don't click around, sort of thing. Now,
right.
PewDiePie's videos, they are short, they are cut very well to just show funny parts of his gameplay. It isn't like his half an hour session maybe through a game will be cut down to like 8 to 10 minutes worth of his silly reactions or stuff he might think is cool to show off from the game, blah, 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 right?
Which aggravates me no end, because I'm not getting a sense of what the game is about, but I am obviously not the person.
What is happening is that people are clicking on his video, they're watching this short, concise thing all the way through because it's short, and then they go on to the next one, the next part. That's why Let's Play video or channels that do very well are the ones that have short segmented parts of a like 5-hour game into maybe 5 to 10 minute chunks, because people click through all of them and they watch the whole thing. So they are getting views and retention from the audience. What this tells YouTube when there's a high enough number is that these people are important enough to put on the main page, which will bring more views and therefore retention. And it's a circular thing that continuously grows.
Right.
That is how PewDiePie became as big as he did, because he had a solid enough base when this change started that it built so heavily that, like, at this point, whenever he puts something up, he's the top channel on the front page. Because, like, it was a time where, like, maybe a couple thousand people, like, he would be on the front page but somewhere else. Now it's like he's the very top because his, like, 10% is 2.6 million people.
Right. So yeah, I guess, you know, like, the internet, like, Smosh videos, I used to watch those. Like,
I haven't watched any. Can you do me a favor right now?
Yeah, okay.
I was actually gonna ask you this off air, but I totally forgot. Name me like 2 or 3 Smosh videos that are maybe funny or something. I have never checked them out ever.
Okay, the ones that kind of kicked it off. Okay, whatever. The one I remember thinking was just kind of funny was Boxman. Okay.
Is it all one word?
I think so. It is like a wacky, like, it's a music video. Dudes walking around in a box, and it's a goofy little song.
Okay, Boxman or Boxman 2.0?
I'm mostly familiar with the original, apparently.
7 years ago? That sounds
Yeah. Like, this was earlier YouTube stuff. The other ones were Mortal Kombat and the Pokemon theme song. Like, it was just kind of 2 friends being stupid and, like, playing around.
So, Mortal Kombat Smosh will probably bring that one up for me.
Yeah.
I won't watch them right now. I'm just...
No, yeah, don't. They're kind of just dumb, distracting little things. But
wait, is it Mortal Kombat theme or someone dies in Mortal Kombat game bang?
No, it is a Mortal Kombat theme. I have no idea what they did past, like, 2008, probably.
Well, they have a channel now, I guess, called Smosh Games.
I know they've got kind of catered more specifically to gaming stuff lately. Like they were on the GMX and whatever as well, along with PewDiePie and stuff. Like that's kind of where I've got updates on what those dudes were doing and saw my first ever PewDiePie content. But they whatever. The point being, they kind of do the same thing of just like short video, very kind of like wacky like title, like just like pitch of just like I know what Mortal Kombat is, click, and then you'll watch like a 3-minute video, and it's like okay, like that was 3 minutes, like it was stupid. I don't even know if it is 3 minutes. It might be even shorter. Like it's really short. But you know Ray William Johnson and stuff. It's just like 3 minutes of dude saying dumb stuff, and then you'll see someone fall down or something. And
Right.
like I get it. I don't know. Like that's not the kind of material I am most interested in. Like I'll click on it sometimes, but I'm mostly like when I'm kind of like setting aside time to do a thing, like the Chrono Trigger stuff. It's like I'm ready to watch 40 minutes of two dudes kind of playing a JRPG, and I don't know if that's just kind of a certain temperament I have developed by growing up watching friends play Final Fantasy VII and stuff. Like it's just kind of like, you want to be the one with the controller, but hey, you're at your friend's house. Like, no, I personally did. Like, I borrowed that game after he was done with it and played it myself.
I agree with you. I guess what I'm saying is that, or what I was thinking, is that there's a whole generation now of like people that sit and watch streams all day. So I don't know if that's necessarily it, because people don't mind watching.
No. I know. I'm saying that's kind of a generational difference where it's like I would watch it and be like, oh man, I got to play that, and then I'll stop watching. Whereas now there's people that are totally content with just watching, and I don't have that in me. Like it's like if I see a game that is interesting enough to me, I will want to play it myself. Like I watched a good chunk of the Persona 4 endurance run on Giant Bomb, and then stopped watching it because I wanted to play it. They sold me. Like it took a long time because that is a slow burn game, but it was just kind of like slow, like kind of like elaboration on what that game's all about and kind of what makes it cool. And I was like, all right, after 40 hours of watching this, I want it. And then I played 100 hours of it personally, and I've never seen the remaining 60 hours they did. Like I have no interest in that. I don't need it. But yeah, I'm kind of doing the Chrono Trigger one a little different. Just because it is, like, honestly, it is because it is a big piece of Ryan Davis related content that I never saw, and that dude is gone now, so there will never ever.
Good. It's good content too.
He names the Time Machine the Tupac, and I thought that was really funny.
I know, it's so good. That guy was a comedy genius, taken away way too early.
Yeah, and just, that these videos are like that long and they still sustain interest and make me kind of want to watch them. Like that, there's something to that. But that's kind of just this long form of content I got used to. Whereas, yeah, I guess that's just not how it goes anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Playing video games versus watching them, like I don't know what the audience. Like, I mean, some of our listeners have expressed that they are still very much playing games, right? Like they're playing Bravely Default and stuff. Like it's.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
it's not that kind of hard break between like, yeah, I watched Paul play this game called I don't know, like Nether. Did you stream some Nether or no?
I can't actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
it's because it's 64-bit, it takes up so many of my computer resources that streaming it, like I can play it and stream. No, I can play it and stream it with no detriment to my game, but the video output is very choppy.
Okay. Well, okay, so Harvester then. Like it's just like I'll watch Harvester. And then they probably won't go play Harvester, but that's you doing your job of reporting on this game, maybe. I don't know. But they will then go play like Fire Emblem or Pokemon or something.
I guess what you're saying here is that with Harvester and like Nether and stuff and talking about it after here or streaming it, I am basically doing the heavy lifting for these people while they can just enjoy their lives. Thank God for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Like our morbid curiosity in weird games, like people can kind of get something out of that, maybe. I haven't done this nearly as much at all. I haven't streamed
Played
much.
the video game so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's kind of the mentality even within the reviewing industry, right? Of just like, I
It
played
is,
Breaking the 99
actually.
Dragons, and now you don't need to. And it's like, okay. But I don't know, like with kind of the bigger tier stuff, like it's just like you got to play the good thing early. You're a jerk. So I don't know. It's like there seems to be those kind of like sure bets in the industry, right? Like there's ones that are just like, yeah, guess what? Watch Dogs is probably going to get some decent reviews. Like it's probably
Like
like
Titanfall was going to get good reviews.
yeah, because they're going to spend enough money until it's a good enough piece of software to get good reviews. Like
And
they're
that's fine. There's like I know that
I don't
we
feel like they're
talk some
literally buying reviews. I feel like it's like if
no,
they're
like
gonna
we
put
talk some mess about stuff sometimes, but like
yeah,
if these big companies are going to do their big company thing, by all means do
make
it.
it good.
Like if
Yeah,
make it the best thing you can, whether that's from your own personal talent as one dude in a basement or because you have 1,000 dudes in a basement somewhere and you're paying them a salary.
mm-hmm.
Like it
And
doesn't
like
matter.
I feel like we maybe ragged on kind of some. Have we like specifically ragged on big budget games? I think we kind of balk at the $60 price a lot more than we used
I
to.
don't.
I did.
60
Okay.
The $60 price point isn't that bad for me. It's that I never feel I get enough for it that I just don't bother. Like
Well,
it's not a matter of like, oh, I'm mad that they're charging this. It's a matter of, oh, I'm just not going to buy it because it doesn't interest me for that price.
sufficiently. Yeah, like there were times last year where I felt like I totally like some games that didn't even make my top list that I still felt like this is totally justified. Like Last of Us, totally felt fine spending that much money. BioShock Infinite, same thing. Like it was like
Sure.
I am sufficiently interested in these games. I am told they are polished and of some reasonable quality.
For
I don't-
BioShock, you knew what you were getting into. It's a
exactly. I got a wacky sci-fi adventure, and I had a decent time. Last of Us, I had a like zombie adventure action game, and it was pretty good at doing that. It just didn't kind of do the extra level of like, man, this is how storytelling should be in this medium. Like, I don't see that at all. I don't want that. Like, don't do that. But I still felt okay with the $60 price tag. So I'm not like inherently opposed to it. It's just when I see games where it's like, really? $60 for that? What are you doing? Like it's just kind of like, the annual sports releases. Like that seems crazy to me. Because
okay, so this is the way sports releases have to be.
Except NFL 2K5. But
no,
anyway,
what they should be doing is the Xbox One came out, right?
Pitch the way they should be.
Yeah, so Xbox One came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna buy Madden for $60.
Okay.
This comes with the system sort of thing. I'm buying it with the system. Now you are gonna charge me $5 every year for the new roster as downloadable content, and we're gonna be happy.
Yeah, you get a little bit of money. I, get the football. Good stuff.
That's it. That's all you have to do. But for the love of God, for that $60 initial purchase, make it full. Like, just put everything you can in there. Put the crunching bones and dumb shit like that and the, like, trading members to other teams and stuff like that. Put that all in there. And if you want to unlock it differently throughout the years or whatever, do it. It doesn't matter to me because I bought this once. You are going to keep updating it and keeping me interested every year until the next system comes out.
Mm-hmm. It is a little weird that they've kind of been treating it like this cash cow, and it's kind of weird how, like, maybe the audience for that is just that is their game, like that's the one game purchased that year, so they don't really care. Like it's just like, yeah, I buy like 3 sports games a year, I can swing that like $60 or whatever. Like, thinking back to the kind of gambit Sega did in like 2005, like I was way more into that pricing plan of just like we're gonna release brand new games at $20. And
sure,
they're going to be fully featured, have like franchise mode, all sorts of bells and whistles, and it's going to be a lower entry point because we need to kind of introduce people to our product and get them kind of looking at the larger football game, world out there. And it totally started to work, and then exclusivity rights and all that kind of awesome stuff. But yeah, whatever, sports games. That's like the one chapter in sports games history I remember like caring about. And then it kind of went back into EA's pocket, and it was just kind of like, okay, like I'm fine. I don't really care about Roethlisberger. That's a football man, right?
You
right?
are asking the wrong person. I always bought the NHL games.
Okay. Kippersoff, that's a guy, right? Local.
That
I
wow.
saw a Kippersoft jersey like 2 days ago on the train. So
That yeah, from an era long past. You know what? Let's get off the sports talk. Let's get off of all this.
hold on. What was our main thread? Video games. We're about to say something really authoritative and amazing about them. What was it? Watch
Well,
games.
yeah, like watching games. You were going to say something authoritative about it. I think I said my piece that they should just not be making games for YouTuber bait.
Okay. No, I guess that's
That
a
was
good
my thing.
on that. That is a fair point. Make real bland things again, you guys. Yeah.
No, not even that. Just like
No,
make something you want to make, and if people like it, then great. If they don't, well, at least you tried something new. Like you're trying to further us as a human race. You're not just going to like Goat Simulator.
Right. Now I'm trying
I'm
to
still gonna. Every time like I see stuff people talk about Goat Simulator, I die a little inside because if the people actually think that's like a decent video game, even for the lulz, they're fucking stupid.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think, like, did this all start in a good place and it got corrupted? Like, was it Gary's mod or something? Like, just goofy times, blah, it's not very expensive. And then...
But Gary's mod was just, like, literally a mod that was, like, that enough work went into that they decided, you know what, we should probably make some money off of this because we did a lot of work.
No, I'm not saying it's, like, a bad starting point. It's just, like, that is the crack in the visage or whatever. Like, that's what led to this.
And there's great Gary's mod things out there. Like, you buy the Gary's mod for $5 and you have access to, like, the community worth of games, whatever people want to put out with it.
No, again, I'm saying it had to have started somewhere, and that's kind of one of my
for sure. I'm just saying that, yeah.
know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're cool. I think we're fine.
There we go. We solved it. What else is going on? Do you mind if I...
well, we watched Running Man at work.
Oh yeah, we did watch The Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as Ben?
I love how you keep having to put the in there.
The Running Man.
I know it says The Running Man.
It's on the box. I own the movie. It's a little tiny the.
I know.
Yeah, he's the
I have to
Running
make
Man.
a point of it. He's Running Man.
I guess I'm over enunciating it. Anyway, based on the Richard Bachman book, Running Man. Actually, was that called The Running Man too? Whatever. Just kind of dystopic future where reality television has gotten crazy and people watch people kill each other on TV. Yeah, I don't know. How did you feel that held up?
I had actually seen it kind of recently, not recently being within the last 2 years.
Okay. Whereas,
So,
I watched that 17 TBS Superstation cut. I don't know if I've ever
10 years ago. Basically.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Sure. It's fine. It's a dumb Arnold movie. It's great for that.
At least that's the time it was most impactful to me. I may have seen it when I bought it.
Okay.
I don't know. There's also been some movies I've been pulling out of my collection that are just it's still in the plastic. So, yeah, I don't know if it was one of those. But okay. Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. It did its 80s action movie job of just providing bad one-liners and weird sets and action.
Yep.
Fights. It's really just broken up into fights. It's almost like watching a Smash TV movie or something.
That's all it is.
Yeah. There's less gun, fodder, but there's basically just boss battles, and then he wins. And
yeah, spoilers for a fucking 30-year-old movie.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger wins with his muscles. He does it.
The muscles from Brussels.
Mm-hmm.
That's not him, but
no, it's not. But they were in things together, right? Expendables 2. Ugh.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. What else did we watch? Some South Park, Event Horizon.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to like it more than I do.
I'll talk about Event Horizon a little bit.
Okay.
When I was growing up in my teen years, I loved horror movies a lot.
Okay.
And I think I gave Event Horizon an unfair advantage in that bias where I remembered it being amazing. Watching it again, like this last week, that movie is some fucking crap.
Like,
it is pretty bad.
like the thing that kind of stuck with me about it is like it's only 90 minutes long. It's set in space.
Yeah.
Like it should be like way more entertaining than it actually is. Like it's not wacky enough or scary at all.
It doesn't go far enough with anything. It doesn't try for any actual horror scares or anything like that. It doesn't even have character development in things other than, like, I'm going to tell you about this thing that happened in my past so that this thing that happens at the end will make sense.
Right.
There is no development of anything. There's no development of the atmosphere, of what actually happened to the Event Horizon, why you should care about any of the characters, or why you should care that, like, they make it or anything. There's nothing. It is a complete bland experience where there is a ship, there's some weird shit that's going on, and it ends. Then it's over. That's all it is.
Like the kind of moment that really stuck with me was there was that one bit where like I'm just gonna, like, apologies, this is kind of a bit of a weird way of describing a person, but okay, Lawrence Fishburne's in the movie, but there's another guy in the movie that I will just refer to as the black guy.
Yeah, that was Richard Jones.
Okay, Richard Jones uses his oxygen tank like a jetpack and then yells, "I'm coming."
Cooper.
Okay, do you just know this and I am racist, or are you looking at information?
No, I liked horror movies a lot.
Okay.
Growing up.
So you remember details.
I've watched Event Horizon over, like, between 10 to 20 times.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Like, I've seen Resident Evil Apocalypse like twice. So
okay, I've seen that about 20 times.
Oh man. Okay. But okay, whatever. I guess I'll highlight some qualities of that.
Sienna Guillory or whatever.
Yeah.
Dressed up as Jill Valentine is like a wet dream for me. So I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's why I watched it. And Resident Evil.
Honestly, I was going to contrast those in that, like, Event Horizon has that one moment where he's like, "I'm coming, motherfuckers!" And it's like, this seems like this is from a different movie. Like, this just seems like
it specifically says, "Here I come, motherfucker."
Yeah. Like, those lines of dialogue seem like they were added later. Like, they were, like, punched up. Like, it's
they
like
were comedy bits.
Yeah, like, that's the punch-up phase, because, like, you will notice at no point when he's saying kind of wackier things are his lips on screen, like, saying them.
Right.
They just seem, like, shoved into the side of the movie to kind of make it at least a little bit funny, like, give it some life. Like, Resident Evil, like, I've only seen like 3 of them, but they are always kind of reliably entertaining. Like they move,
right,
and they have like just a dumb tone to them that is easy to appreciate as just like, you know what? I know when I'm going to hit play on this, I'm going to have a decent time. Like, I've never walked out of Resident Evil movie and felt they literally just robbed me of like $12. Like, I just got screwed. It's like, whatever. Like, that was dumb. That was what I wanted. Like, that's why I came here to see the movie called Resident Evil. Like, what were the later ones called?
Which ones?
Like,
do you want me to name them in order?
Is there Afterlife?
Okay, so there is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
There is Resident Evil Apocalypse is a second.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, I'm just trying to think. I always get these ones mixed up.
Extinction is the third.
Extinction is the third, but then the last 2... There is Afterlife, because that is the 3D one, and the one after that is Retribution.
Okay. I quite liked Afterlife, I think. Like, that one I just had a fun time. It was just fun.
The way you remember it is like Resident Evil 1 is 1, like just Resident Evil.
Was Retribution the one with like the clones? And
yes.
Oh man, yeah. That was some good stuff.
No, because the way you remember it is like Apocalypse is 2.
Yeah.
Because the apocalypse happens. 3 is Extinction. Mm-hmm. And then after Extinction, there has to be the Afterlife, right?
Right,
so that's Afterlife. And then when that's all said and done, now we got to get revenge. So Retribution's the last one.
Sure. Like, yeah, there's a lot.
There is another one coming out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I will watch it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I can rely on that. Like Paul W.S. Anderson figured it out eventually how to make just dumb schlock that's fun. Event Horizon, like the spaceships look okay, but like it's just not as fun as I thought it would be. Like that's kind of my kind of weird dilemma lately is like trying to find movies that other people will enjoy watching too. Like I haven't had to do that in a while. So yeah.
You're talking about our coworkers specifically.
Yeah,
not
it's like
naming him by name, but
it's almost like trying to build. It's like trying to build a playlist or something that someone else has to be there for. Like it's just like, okay, now this one's a little too dry. I like this, but it's hard to explain why I like this. All right, like this movie here, this one might be entertaining. Like just point blank, like it'll just be fun to watch as a thing. And I whiffed on Event Horizon. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
Can I give you some advice?
Okay.
Anything that has a kind of like retribution or revenge story is good.
Okay.
And anything that has like his era of growing up sort of dumb action star sort of thing, like the Van Dammes or the like maybe not Bruce Willis as much, but definitely like Stallone and Arnold and stuff like that.
Okay, like I was thinking Demolition Man might be coming.
Demolition Man might be a good one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Or like 90s stuff. I was like Speed. I like Speed. But I don't know.
Like he says, then he like gives me weird suggestions too. So you never know. He's like, you should watch the Poughkeepsie Files or whatever.
Okay.
It's a movie about a serial killer.
Okay.
It's a documentary.
Oh, so it's not even like, a thriller. It's just okay.
It's like a documentary about like the Poughkeepsie tapes or something. I can't remember, but yeah, like I looked it up and I was just like, he suggested this to me? That's so weird.
It's a bit of a wild card, hard to figure out, but yeah, I don't know. Event Horizon, I thought I had like, man, I remember like this was fun, right? This is just a crazy space movie.
It
like,
isn't actually.
Yeah, no. Yeah. From that era though, I'm thinking maybe Deep Blue Sea was a movie I just thought was really
a great
funny.
One.
Yeah, like just honestly, like that is from
Speed
that era.
Would be a good one.
Anaconda. I haven't seen it in its entirety ever. Maybe.
Anaconda is way slower than I think you remember or think it is.
Okay, thank you for warning me off, because that can totally happen where it's like you only remember the highlights and then it's just like, no, dude, it's actually
know the highlights you're thinking are probably about half an hour in the movie and then the ending.
Yeah. So, there's just a lot of Ice Cube standing on a boat and John Voight is there and yeah. Okay.
And what's her name?
And Owen Wilson's in it. He gets eaten. Anyway.
J-Lo before she had the ass.
Out of Sight, would that be okay? Like Soderbergh, it's a little weird, but kind of
This
fun.
is getting weird how we're just specifically talking about what we might like to watch at work. So
yeah,
I wanted to say something. Resident Evil, another one that's coming out, the new one.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the basic synopsis for it is, apparently?
Mm-hmm.
Alice, Jill, Claire, Chris, Leon, Ada, and Wesker rush to the Hive, where the Red Queen plots total destruction over the human race.
Oh, the Red Queen's back.
So they're going back to the Hive, and they are all in it this time. Every single one.
There was a decent lineup. Like, Barry was in the last one. I think that dude from 2, Leon, wasn't he actually in the last one?
Leon was, yep.
Yeah. So they've been fleshing out, like, the full cast, so Wesker's on their team? Is that what that implies?
I don't know if he's like gonna race them there or something, or if he is, but
okay,
it's really weird if he is, unless
like,
it's kind of like
and like use the Red Queen to kind of bring Umbrella Corp back or something. Like who knows?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, but
let's get off of it.
Let's get off that topic onto more serious films. Donnie Brasco.
All right.
Have you ever seen Donnie Brasco?
I never have. No.
Okay. I finally watched
it.
Al Pacino and Johnny Depp, who has a mustache for a little while, but then all the characters in the movie say you should shave that, and then he goes, "Oh, okay." So
mob movie, right?
Yeah, it's a mob stuff, late 70s, early 80s. Michael Madsen is in it as like one of the bosses in New York.
Oh, I mean the dad in Free Willy.
Yeah, the dad in Free Willy, his most famous role. I don't know how I felt about it. Like I specifically watched it because it's kind of it was mentioned a couple times in Sopranos, which struck me as weird. But then thinking back on it, it's like, oh wait, that was like actually a contemporary gangster movie at the time. Like that came out literally 2 years before that show started. So never mind. Like it just seemed like a weird random late '90s movie to call out. But then it's like, oh wait, no, this was made in the late '90s. So duh.
And it came out 2 years after Free Willy 2, so
Exactly.
Madsen, you know.
Riding that wave.
That's right.
He's Michael Madsen in it. I was gonna say he was fine, but he just kind of wears weird shirts and is vaguely threatening sometimes. Like
That's what he basically did for every movie he was in from 2000 and up.
Yeah,
I guess
so
maybe now 97 and up.
yeah, adjust your timeline.
Yeah.
It was okay. Like it's like Johnny Depp is an undercover cop who is kind of, or rather FBI agent who is infiltrating the mob, and kind of the main dynamic is kind of the person who gets him in is Al Pacino's character, who actually is kind of a lower level guy. Like he is not a capo or anything. I don't think he's kind of just a made guy, but just kind of on the a street earner. Like he's just a regular.
Is he like part of the family sort of thing?
He's part of the but he's kind of just another player in it. He's not high on the ladder.
Gotcha.
And,
okay.
Johnny Depp, who he like trusts and ushers in, starts kind of rocketing up faster than he is, and there's kind of just this weird kind of jealousy thing, but also like like the main thing is kind of Johnny Depp's character struggling with like family life versus his time undercover and like his weird job, and also kind of being true to this guy who brought him in and not like trying not to get him killed, because if it's ever revealed that he is a rat, he will not only be in trouble, but that guy will almost certainly just be killed, because it's just like,
sure,
it was right under your nose and you're the one who brought him to us, you fucked up. So that kind of core like relationship is actually what makes that movie interesting. And there's some late movie scenes that totally hit because of the whole movie kind of playing out and developing that dynamic or whatever. So overall, I was like, okay, I'm glad I watched that, but it's not kind of one of those ones you'd list as like, yeah, this is like the mob movie or something. Like it is another mob movie, but it has some moments of kind of insight in it. It's weird though. There is a scene in the movie which has Paul Giamatti in it. It was kind of during his character actor times before he was in any way a star on his own or anything. Asking Johnny Depp's character what the deal is with saying "forget about it."
Yeah.
And they kind of really just lean into that as like a phrase, and past that scene, they still use it like a lot. Like it's kind of weird how often in that movie the term, like the phrase "forget about it" is thrown around. Like it's almost comic, and I don't know. Like it almost feels like that scene where they're joking about it was kind of put in to like justify the joke or something. Like I don't know. Like, it's like, man, our dialogue kind of really started hitting this note a lot. We need to call ourselves out on it, or it'll look like we're just bad. I don't know if that's true. Maybe they totally just wanted to use it and thought that's like very slice of life. Like that's something gangsters say all the time. And maybe it's become cliche because of this movie, and I just didn't know it. But that whole Italian gangster, forget about it kind of thing. Like, forget about it. They just throw it around so many times. Forget about it. But they kind of point out it can be used in a bunch of different ways and mean a bunch of different things. And it was a fun scene. I don't know. That was a weird thing that stood out. But yeah, Al Pacino, he's there. And he's fine. He does his thing, He doesn't yell a lot. There's kind of my favorite scenes are just him kind of sitting there like watching TV and thinking. But that sounds boring, but it makes sense in context. But yeah, that was an okay movie. And then we watched The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, okay.
On it, like partially because we just, coming off of Noah, that was a Aronofsky movie, but wrestling has just been talked a lot so much in my corner of the internet.
Has it?
Yeah, like just the Ultimate Warrior dying, and like Raw happened a while ago. Eric Badur of Mega 64 fame is just like talking about wrestling all the time. He has his own wrestling podcast.
Does he really?
Yeah, him and Brian
Wow.
just talk about wrestling. They're like 10 episodes deep. I haven't listened to it because I don't know anything about wrestling. And then PAX East, I guess, like all of Giant Bomb's stuff was like riffing hard on wrestling. Like they were playing this old N64 wrestling game. There was like beefs and like rap, whatever. Like what do you call it when you're just kind of calling someone out? You know, like you're holding the mic and you're just talking shit about someone else because wrestling.
I honestly don't.
Promos. I think that's what they call them.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
I honestly don't know.
Ginning up fake beefs because wrestling. Yeah, so this is like my one cultural touchstone of like, oh, wrestling, like that movie, The Wrestler. So I watched that. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I think when I think wrestling is like, 50-year-old dudes who are kind of, dreams of glory long past and stuff, and it's kind of sad and melancholy. It's
very sad.
Yeah. It's heavy stuff. I don't know. Like it's a good movie. So much more overt, like handheld camera stuff than I remember. Like it is a lower budget film, but it tells its story and tells it well, and there's good acting in it. And yeah, I don't know. I was glad I revisited it. But yeah, wrestling. That is wrestling in a nutshell.
The Wrestler is a hard movie to talk about because that is a movie that's like you kind of just follow this journey that Rourke plays as I can't remember his name. Randy the Ram, that's right.
Yeah.
You just kind of follow that throughout the movie. There's not like a plot point where it's like this happens, this happens, this happens. So yeah, that's
there's like, arguments with his daughter and like this stripper he knows and whatever. Like there's like things that are like, oh, that sounds like a plot point, but it seems very kind of slice of life of this dude. It's just, he is told he shouldn't wrestle anymore because he has a heart condition. Like his heart is weak now because of all the horrible things he's been doing. And
right.
Yeah, then he's just kind of trying to adjust to a regular life. And yeah, see the movie. I guess it is worth a watch. But yeah, that's kind of the most recent piece of media I had consumed this week. That was like a couple hours ago. And then we went for Italian food to celebrate.
Italians?
Yeah. Maybe Donnie Brasco. I don't know. Sopranos, all the stuff lately, it's just like, hey, we should go get spaghetti or something. Let's go. And yeah. Now my fridge has spaghetti in it, and I will eat it tomorrow. And it'll be good. But okay.
I don't like spaghetti at all.
Oh, what?
Can't stand it. What? I've never liked it.
What? Okay. Review
I don't know.
Spaghetti. What? How many stars does it get out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
3.
Is it the noodle, like just the?
It's the noodle. Well, of course it's a noodle because like when you mix spaghetti with other stuff, it's like whatever, right? It's the same as it.
Sauce on it. I like meat sauce, so that's really why I'm there. But
sure.
Like I don't care what shape the noodles are.
Yeah.
Is it specifically the shape of the noodle? Like it's just stringy,
like too stringy, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
That might be it.
You're not a like Vermicelli fan or anything either, right?
No, not really.
Is that a noodle? It's that super thin one. Anyway, okay. Spaghetti review out of the way. 3 out of 10. Was there anything else?
I have a new idea for a segment we're going to do right now.
Let's hear it.
So I scoured the internet on ask.com, and we're going to answer a random question.
Okay, well, let's have it.
Okay, this is under teen relationships. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay.
Experts in the field.
Is it okay if a 15-year-old couple sleeps together in the same bed or on the same couch together in each other's arms? 15 years old. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Not a little weird? Like, say you're a parent, you have a 15-year-old daughter, you come home, and her and some random dude or girl are together in the same bed, just like hugging and sleeping.
That's not that crazy, I don't think.
Okay. So you're pro-lesbian makeout for a 15-year-old girl. For your daughter, specifically.
You said they're actually sleeping. Like, they're just sleeping. They fell asleep studying or something. I don't know. That's not that crazy.
I guess.
Like, I know there's sexual
problem with this question,
or whatever, but
that's, I think, what the problem with how this word is questioned. I need to know if they actually mean is okay if 15-year-old couple sleeps together in the same bed if they actually mean sleep, or it's like, well, they fell asleep because they just had a hot night of boning.
Yeah, like it's a little vague. Honestly, for some reason, like the very first image that popped in my head was Let the Right One In, where there's like two 12-year-olds sleeping, and it is weird. You know? Like the vampire girl comes in his room and then they just kind of like cuddle up and I don't know. It was just like, this is a little strange. I don't know. Like I know she's a vampire too, so that's extra weird. But something about this is a little weird. I don't know.
Okay, how about something? I'm gonna twist this as we do, as I do.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay, say you have a wife and a kid, right? Like a son or whatever.
Okay.
You come home, and your wife and 15-year-old son are like cuddling in your bed. Well, in like your wife in your bed.
15?
15, yes.
That, yeah. Like, I mean, you know, up to a point, there's like, I had a nightmare. It's like, okay, that's fine. Hop in, whatever.
No, we're not talking about nightmare. We're talking about
just like cuddling.
This kid is old enough to have a hot, fat boner inside her right now.
Yeah, that's strange business. That is getting into the
So
weirder...
that's actually stranger than a 15-year-old couple.
Yeah. Way stranger.
For sure, yeah. I agree.
Like, now that you say it out loud, it's like, yes, in direct contrast, this is actually a lot more frowned upon. This is Game of Thrones type material of just weird things that, yeah, I don't know. That kid was sucking oh man, what the hell? That first season? I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
all right.
That's the first segment.
You made it weirder. Good job. Ask.com's got nothing. Okay.
What, like Ask Pixel response?
Yeah, we'll take your questions and add 20% more strangeness.
Actually, that would actually be fun. It's like, how could we make this even worse? So people just send in these heinous, like, crimes, basically. It's just like, yeah, but I'm gonna one-up you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You ready
Weirder if he had no dick. What? Yep.
You ready for After Dark voicemails?
After Dark voicemails.
Okay. So I think we got our usual 3 from our 2 contenders and then a couple others. So let's start it off right about here.
Polly, Nathaniel, what's up? Oh wait, I know what's up. You killed my ending phrase. I'll see you at the stream is now dead. Hashtag never forget. Do you know the trouble you've caused me? I need to think of something new. Hashtag the struggle is real. God, I'm a drama king. Obviously I'm not mad because I was barely hearing the stream anyway. Poor Meowth-chan too. Nobody really considered poor Meowth, except for me, because I am incredibly kind and benevolent. Yeah, that whole foul marshmallow and vile marshmallow isn't real. I'm like only a 4th evil. Yep, I'm a goody two-shoes pussy pushover. You know, sometimes I think Batman knows me better than I know myself. That prick has a very low opinion of me. Motherfucker. My question is, if you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for? And no cheating, you cocksuckers. You get 3 wishes and no wishing for more. Go fuck yourselves.
Honestly, I in my mind, the first one is like unlimited wishes.
Like, so, it's kind of the default not allowed answer now. So I think, yeah, it always needs that disclaimer. The genie has to say that, or else you'll totally try it. Or the bring back people from the dead thing too. That is a rule established in Aladdin. But I don't know if it applies here because he didn't say it. So I would totally bring some people back from beyond the grave. And one of them would be Ryan Davis. There we go. That was going to happen. I was going to say it.
I don't want zombie Ryan Davis, though. Is there monkey paw rules here?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess if it would be a terrible thing. No, okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to make things more horrible and unsettling a la Pet Sematary, which is all about that.
Check out my first wish.
Let's not do that. Okay. What's the first wish?
First wish, every time I do this, I snap my fingers. In the hand that I snapped the finger for, I get a $50 bill.
That's pretty good. Like, that's almost akin to, like, I open my wallet and the exact amount I need to buy the thing is there. Like, that's another one that kind of...
The reason it's $50 is because it's divisible by, like, chump change sort of stuff if you need to just buy a Coke or something.
Sure.
And it isn't like if I snap my fingers I get $1 million bill or something where I'm going to get arrested by the IRS or
right.
something.
Or it's just like I snap my fingers and I imbalance the economy. Like, it's just like, wait, why is there suddenly $1 billion more than there was before? What is going on? Like, yeah.
I think it's important too that like if I wanted to buy a house, I would have to stay here doing that all night.
Yeah, you kind of got to work for it.
A little bit of work, a little bit.
So you appreciate, it's like my hand hurts, and you know what? I earned this. Like, I know I have this magic advantage over everybody ever, but
$50 is enough that you can increment it easily, like 50, 100, 150, 200 sort of thing.
Sure. That's a good wish. That I almost want to steal yours. But now I'm trying to think, like, do I have kind of a better, like, or just like an angle on stuff, or like food? Do you just want to kind of like not have to eat anymore? Nah, that'd be a curse, kind of, wouldn't it? Or not having to sleep. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, it extends your life in this weird way of like you could do more stuff, but I kind of don't mind sleep.
But see, monkey paw thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, I would regret that one.
I'm the monkey paw right now. You do your wish for not having to sleep or whatever. Word it.
Okay. I wish for the ability to feel energized and be able to kind of do my daily tasks with like barely any sleep at all. Like Einstein legend rules of just like 20-minute power nap and you're good to go. 23 hours and 40 minutes a day of productivity. What is my downside, monkey paw?
Your downside is that 20 minutes is not enough to actually... You feel energized after 20 minutes, so your brain is alert, but your body shuts down because it didn't have enough rest to kind of work itself out. You get sick easier.
Oh, no. No, now I'm just imagining this thing of just being like, my mind is active and I am awake, but my body is just sleeping. So it's just this horrible, like, not coma of just like, I can't move. It's like sleep paralysis.
You're energized, but you're sleeping. Your body can't move.
My body is sleeping, but my mind is active.
Right, exactly. So, like, your eyes are still awake and looking around, but you can't move.
So there's 7 hours and, like, 30 minutes of just horror of just you are in your own mind. You can't even write. You can't even read.
Or, like, 4 hours or something. However much your body feels it needs that day.
Jeez. Yeah, okay, that's a good downside. So, okay, I fucked up my first wish, and then my second wish is to undo that. So that's terrible. Man, I'm down to one wish.
No, okay, let's just be serious here. So,
okay.
The three wishes here, like, without any downside, obviously it's to call upon however much money I need to never have to worry about it again.
Sure, like, which, the finger snapping would facilitate.
Second of all, I would wish for the ability to teleport.
Exactly. That was going to be one of mine. I was just like, if there's a concert anywhere in the world that I want to go to, or a film festival, or whatever, I can just appear there and it doesn't matter. I can just do anything.
Also, I don't mind, like, if there's a weird backside to that. It's like, well, you can teleport, like, say, going here to Toronto or whatever, across the country, 5-hour plane trip, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can teleport there instantly, but you will feel the same amount of jet lag and air sickness or something as you would for 5 hours all at one time. I wouldn't mind puking my guts out for half an hour just to teleport somewhere instantly.
Yeah. Downside is, within reason, like, so like my molecules got scrambled or something. Like, it's just like, no, it's fine.
I have to be able to survive. I don't mind like, a little teleport sickness though, or something.
Okay. Fair enough. That's that. Like, honestly, teleportation in some form was one of my wishes.
Third for me, it's gonna sound like such a dumb thing.
Yeah.
The third wish for me would just be to like always be able to see the brighter side of things. I feel I would be happier.
Mm-hmm.
Not have to like worry about dumb shit. Like the whole thing where it's like, my neck hurts. You look on the internet, you probably have throat cancer. Like, yeah. I don't want to be the one to read that anymore. Like, I wish that I can read that, but the one I focus on is it's probably nothing. You're going to be okay, dude.
Okay. So optimism as like just a
and then you could read the comments on YouTube videos.
Right.
Because that guy that's like, you're a piece of shit. You're just like, eh. Then this guy's like, I love you. You're like, oh, thanks, man.
And that's the one you notice. and that's
Yeah.
the one you treasure, and it makes your day better. Yeah. That would be cool. Honestly, like I can't help just shaking. Like I know there's downsides, like there obviously would be, but like immortality or invulnerability, like to
Dude,
some
I don't.
extent,
Okay,
I want it.
invulnerability.
Yeah,
Okay, living forever sounds like the worst
I-
because I
I've
don't want to
heard
see
that.
everyone else I love die.
Oh no, yeah, but maybe the power to grant it too. Can I have that? Because then
If
I
you
can
can
bring
have
people
that,
with me.
then I can have unlimited wishes because that's what you're doing.
Oh, I'm
Are now the wish
Oh,
giver.
well,
Because
whatever.
you are-
Like Jafar wishes to be a like sorcerer, and he gets superpowers. Like, why can't I have weird powers?
He was also stopped by Street Rat.
He was. That's true. Well, I'm not saying like
Such
by
dumb
becoming,
thing to bring
dude,
up.
whatever. Honestly, if we have like weird wish powers, like we're gonna make some enemies just inadvertently because of jealousy. Like it's just
Of
like
course.
people are gonna notice someone is teleporting. Like it's just like, yeah, I was at Coachella and suddenly there was this other person there, and then he was gone, and then he was there again with a cool hat. I have a video of it, and it's just like,
He
yeah,
was
that's,
puking his guts out the whole time. He was so crunk, man.
yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, and then you teleport back to get a different shirt because you forgot to bring your bag. And then, yeah, I don't know. Like, there are things that would definitely, people would take notice in a bad way.
I guess Okay, so I'm just gonna make mine basic then for the 3 wishes because
Okay.
getting specific leads to a whole bunch of different caveats or
There's
like
all sorts of
bonus or-
wrinkles to all of them. Yeah.
The first wish would be something along the lines of I don't ever have to feel monetarily or financially unstable again. I'm very secure financially.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like I never have to worry about money or economical means again.
Mhm.
Second thing for me would be the ability to transport somewhere at a whim. It doesn't have to be teleportation or whatever, but however I can just get there.
Yeah.
Like I just want to be somewhere, I'm there. Third for me is like happiness, I guess. Just like a different outlook on stuff. I
Okay.
guess you could get that with like medication, but I don't want to be on like a whole bunch of pills from a psychologist just to read the good comments sort of thing.
Mhm.
That's me, I guess.
Okay. Do you want me to boil down mine? I guess it honestly, whatever, downside, whatever, immortality. I know it would make me weird. Like I would get bummed out eventually and weird melancholy that is totally unique, but I would feel
Well, and the problem is you couldn't even kill yourself.
yeah. I
like,
know
you
there's
can't even end
downsides, but I still feel like it would be so distinctly different than any other being.
I'll ask
ever.
you a question then.
Yeah.
What if a nuclear apocalypse does happen and
And it's
everyone else
just
in the
me?
world is dead and it's just you?
Well, my
'Cause
second
you
power,
couldn't die.
the ability to fly through space, would.
Where
I
are you
could
gonna
find
go?
others. I'll find something. I'll find
Okay.
it. I got all the
Okay.
time there is.
You know what? You're right.
And by the time I get there, I'll be crazy. So, my third wish, never to go crazy. There you go, done. I can fly through space, I'm immortal, and I am immune to mental deterioration.
Your
Ooh.
basic wish is to be like Galactus, the devourer of worlds. Or the Silver
In a
Surfer.
nutshell, sure. That is what it is. Because with all those powers, money ain't no thing.
What if you got all those powers, but you had to eat worlds?
I mean, Mercury's not doing a lot, right? Whatever.
Sure. What if you had to eat one every hour of the day?
That would require some traveling, and yeah, that would be bad. Yeah, I guess that's how you get yourself in like supervillain category, but pluses and minuses, I'll take it.
Sure. You ready for the next voicemail?
Yep, that is the first voicemail.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Nate. So you remember that podcast Flizer, Meowth, and I were going to do? You know what the news on that front is? There is none. To me, it looks like we've hit a dead end, and you know something? I'm fine with that. I haven't had a Skype call with Flizer in quite a while, but I've been having like 2 a week with Meowth. Also, from what I gather, based on what you two have said, it's just as entertaining to share a Skype call with friends as it is doing a podcast. The highlights of my week are New Pixel Response, New Shonen Jump, Monster Hunting Saturdays with Hero, Monaco, Kippingsworth III, and Ridiculous, and last but certainly not least, the Skype calls with Meowthy-chan. That's right, virgins, I get my own personal Meowth hour. Sometimes even two. You know, I'm pretty sure that sounded wrong or could be taken the wrong way, but what you gonna do? Hey, have you two played GTA Online with me yet?
Nope, I haven't.
That's not even a slight. I just don't play GTA Online at all. So,
Sure.
yeah. Kind of, hey, community is forming. Are you happy about this? Is that cool? I think that's
What?
kind of neat that has happened.
What?
I don't know, just podcast communities, talking to each other and doing stuff and planning things.
Of course.
Yeah.
The whole reason I wanted to do community stuff is so all of us would talk to each other and maybe be friends or something.
Oh, not like create a crazy social movement that overthrows what?
That overthrows what?
I don't know. The norm.
What's
We'll
the
march
norm?
on Washington. I don't know why, because Canadians, but, you know.
So response is the norm. So people listening to this as it is are part of it.
Okay.
Everything else is scary and weird.
Yeah, we got our own little clan.
Uncharted territory. So
It's like Nether. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you said there's clans, and I was like, okay.
No sleeping bags, though, that are locked.
No. Yeah, no locked sleeping bags. We just have
So-
regular ass sleeping bags. You can just sleep in them, and you can put stuff in there. And I don't know. It's
Mine's
freely
always
accessible.
open, even if I'm in it.
Ooh. King Kong lives.
No. But yeah, no, that is cool, and I'm glad you're enjoying your Skype calls and all that. And I agree, you don't have to podcast to just have fun talking to a friend. Sometimes it's just a fun thing to do. And no, we haven't played with you yet. Next voicemail.
Hey Paul, hey Nate. I have a serious problem on my hands. I can't find joy in comedies and movies that are inspired by true stories. They're supposed to be inspiring, or in the case of comedies, lighthearted and not serious. What I see is a bunch of normal people who are all bland and boring. Oh, I figured out the perfect term for these movies. Family friendly. Blech. They make me want to hurl. They're never realistic because these fucks always get their happy ending. There are very, very few comedies that I find funny these days. There might be hope, though. Incredibles 2. The Incredibles is one of my favorite animated movies. I'm turning into Krasner. Send help. I'm so bitter and miserable with my life that I hate seeing happiness in others. People who are satisfied with this world that is run by the rich and corrupt, while the common man is basically a slave struggling to make enough money to live on. Just makes me sick. Bane was a true hero of The Dark Knight Rises. I want the rich to be thrown out of their mansions and their possessions to be given to the people who have worked their asses off. They should be forced to live on the streets. My demand is, name 3 universes you would hate to live in and 3 universes you would love to live in from the following sources.
Oh my
Anime
God.
/ manga,
Okay.
games, movies, and TV shows. I'm going to go write the next 3 voicemails now. Sayonara.
Wait, okay, so any of those things, right? Not
Okay.
first of all anime, second manga.
No,
Okay.
That's exactly what he meant.
Oh wow.
Do you want me to replay the last little bit?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
First of
that
all,
was a very political stance.
I love I love how he's starting to become like you because he can't find happiness in other people being happy.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I guess I kind of wish there were movie examples because I've
Yeah.
felt that sometimes, but without any specific one to be like, oh yeah, that was terrible, like Patch Adams or something, like
But
inspiring
with
comedy
my
based on real life.
I feel like I've had a happy ending from how I was
Mhm.
so far. So like I don't necessarily agree there's no happy ending in life. I just think that you have to work at it. You won't be given it. You have to fight for it.
Yeah. No, there's been some good turns.
There's not a specific example I'm giving because that's way too personal, but
Okay.
Okay, 3 from each, he said. So 3 you would like or not, and 3 you would.
See, that would require that I've seen 6 animes
At
series, I guess. Like, it's like I could live in the world of Tokyo Godfathers because it's kind of just like real life. Like, I don't. It's
Okay,
not that
I'll
crazy.
tell you the animes.
Tom Poco. All the Tanukis have giant balls. I don't know. Like,
I'll tell you the animes I would live in. The universes.
Okay.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. Okay.
Easy Schoolgirls. Done. 2.
Sure. We need 6. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
You just need a justification for it. So you're right.
2.
Schoolgirls.
Naruto.
Yep.
Because I would have liked school a lot better if it was just to be a ninja and not to learn math.
Okay.
3. Fuck. I'm just trying to think of other animes.
Like, a lot of
Dragon
them have
Ball,
horrible.
just because I could power up. Sure.
Which one?
Dragon Ball, so I could power up to be powerful.
Okay. I'm gonna start with 3. I would hate.
Okay, I got 3 I would hate too.
Okay, let's hear it.
Attack on Titan.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, it's just like, I don't want all of humanity to be on the brink of extinction because giant dumbass things ate everyone. I hate them so much. They're worse than zombies. But yeah, okay, yeah. So agreement on Attack on Titan. I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
They're so dumb. Yeah.
My second one was Inuyasha.
Okay.
It's such a dumb anime I didn't like at all.
Okay.
Actually, you know what my third one would like to be in? Space Dandy, because it's fun, a fun universe.
Okay.
Done.
Sci-fi's fun.
The
Spaceships.
third one I wouldn't want to live in is Pokemon, because it seems like after you're past the age of 10 and
Yeah.
you're no longer on your journey, you're just a useless NPC.
Right. It's just like, damn, there's just monsters everywhere.
Like,
And kids having their cockfights. Like, what's going on? But
damn, there's monsters everywhere.
yeah, like you're just trying to walk through a field and it's just tripping over all sorts of crazy stuff.
Well, you know what my problem is that it would just what's the point? Because for me, at my age, I'm gonna be working at the Pokemart or the shipping yard. So
it's like all of the fun and adventuring ever happen in your first 15 years, and then you just become such a, all that's left for you is just working at this store or working at this hospital.
I'm doing the same job I'm doing now, only with little fucking annoying rat monsters.
And kids would be so much more annoying. They just have backpacks full of crazy, weird stuff, and they're off doing way cool things.
They'd be coming into your establishment, just going through your pots and garbage, looking for shit and pulling stuff out.
Yeah. You're right. That would be terrible.
You're just walking home and you see in the grass shuffle a little bit, then you get electrocuted because you scared a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Worst.
Electric squirrels. Can you imagine?
Fuck you, Pokemon. There's no... I mean, if you're 10 years old, of course you want to live there because you're, the most important person in this world.
There's no room, no country for middle-aged to old men in Pokemon.
That's what that movie was about. No Country for Men was actually talking about the Johto region.
Which is weird because it's set in 1980, but it's kind of foreshadowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Read between the lines. So yeah, ones I would not is obviously Attack on Titan. I'm trying to think. There was totally another one. Oh, dude, sorry. One I would. No, wait. This is one.
You haven't named any of them except for Attack on Titan.
Okay, Death Note. Where should I put that one? Because it's if I don't have the Death Note, it is the worst thing. Because someone could just gin up some crazy Final Destination-esque demise for me because I, shortchanged them at the store or something. Just whatever. Who knows? I tripped,
right?
Or something. Who knows? So I'm gonna put that in the no category. I don't want to live there either. I do panty and stocking. I'm gonna say yes because even if I'm not involved in any of the craziness going on, there's that one episode where it's just the salary man and he's just doing his normal thing. But the news stories would be so much more interesting to read because just there was another giant demon battle downtown today, and it's just oh, okay.
One of them is a nymphomaniac too, right?
Yes, the blonde one.
See, I would be okay with that.
Okay. So that's one in the first category. Oh, I guess third for no, because it's kind of a similar horrible premise, is Evangelion. Of just there are giant weird creatures that show up and just kill people. And
basically the end of the world scenarios. I just don't want to live.
Yeah, it's these are really bad apocalypses you have ginned up. That's not good at all. okay, so I've my 3 no are established. I have 1 in the good category. Man, all of them just sound crazy. Like, like I don't need to be a ninja or power up. Like Sword Art Online, like I like some of the tech they're showing in that one episode I saw, but I don't want to be trapped in a death game. And
Sure.
I would totally be like, well, I mean, whatever. I'm kind of behind the curve a bit on some of this stuff, so it's just like, sorry, I just thought of the most horribly selfish angle on this. So you're investigating all these alphas and early access games. Paul gets Sword Art Online on day 1, and his Steam library is in use forever.
Forever.
Yeah,
Never
because you
gonna be
can't
available.
unplug or you will die, and I obviously don't want that. But now it's just like, God damn it! Now I need to buy everything.
How am I gonna podcast through?
I know you'd be trapped.
Oh, you know what would be weird is that you're watching the game,
yeah.
and I'm talking through the game. So like the game audio and your microphone. That's how we podcast. But
I guess
there would be like a speech bubble above my head of everything I was about to say.
Right, in the game chats, it's just like, oh, God damn it, this guy. So then you might be targeted if it's like a PvP situation. Like, who knows? We could inadvertently... Man,
Kill
yeah,
me.
there's also a problem there. So that's number 4 in the don't let that happen.
Sure.
Man, anime is weird. I'm trying to... Like, can I choose movies? Can I...
We have to.
Okay,
This is only the first part.
I know. Oh, God damn it! You're right. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna run through Totoro. That would be dope. Cat buses. And number 3, Perfect Blue.
Okay, video games. Let's go.
Okay, video game. God damn. Shadow of the Colossus. Yes.
Shadow of the Colossus. No.
Okay.
Do you remember how that game ends?
Yeah, it's horrible, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
liked how picturesque a lot of the scenery and stuff was too. And whatever, I'm not saying I have to kill the Colossi. They exist. That's cool.
I'm gonna say yes to South Park: Stick of Truth.
Okay.
Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's
Because
Colorado.
You're
Like,
playing. Well, you're
I wish
playing as
Colorado
yourself.
was real. Yeah. Oh, you wish you were just in the South Park universe.
Well, because when you see, that's the thing. Does it count as like the game or the TV?
You know what? It's a really thoroughly realized game world too, so I allow it. That's totally fine.
Okay, I'm gonna say that for a definite yes from me.
Okay, that's a good one. Man, there's so many fucked up. It's like Condemned. That's a cool game. I don't want to live there. I just get bludgeoned by a pipe or something.
Right.
Like Metal Gear, I'm gonna say yes for the same reason I did Panty and Stocking. Of just like the news stories would be way better.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just saying, like, if you read about, like, oh man, this crazy army of bipedal tanks, like, it's just like, okay, that's way more interesting than
Are we
there
looking
is
at
another
it that
death
way
camp.
then? Are we looking at it the way that's like we're just doing like
Yeah,
our
I honestly
lives
look
right
at
now?
it as it's just like, world changes around me, but it's not like I am suddenly also Solid Snake. It's just like, no, I'm Nathan, but also that guy exists.
Okay, because if that's the case, when you said Condemned, that
Yeah.
shit happens.
Savage beatings? I guess
Yeah.
you're right. And I am in no way involved in that part of the world, so that's fair. Mass Effect, I'm going to say yes. I like the
Yes, for
future
Mass
they
Effect.
realized.
I agree with you 100%.
A lot of cool tech and stuff, space travel. It's good stuff.
And Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, karting. That's fun.
Yeah, doesn't count.
Why aren't there more go-karts? That's really like Burnout Paradise. Why don't vehicles not have people in them and you can crash them?
Mhm.
That's a weird universe where there are no people. So never mind. Although that might be great.
Why is
Crap.
the video game one so hard?
I know we play those a lot, but a lot of video game worlds are like full of death and dismemberment. Like I don't want to,
Or
Dark
like
Souls.
just real stuff.
Sure. So like Earthbound, it's like real people. Persona 4.
Well-
I'm going to say that, actually. Wait, how many are we at? So I have Mass Effect, Persona, and Metal Gear for yes. And then you have Shadow for no. Let's collaborate. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Doom 3? I don't really want to be in
No,
that
yeah. I don't want weird hell
At all.
portals at all. And I don't know, Fallout. Apocalypse. Nukes. That's no good.
one. Yeah.
I don't know, Fallout.
You
That's
know
how
what?
much thought.
Let's say for the 3 games we don't want to be a part of
Okay.
that universe, like all of them.
Most games.
Most? Yeah.
Like, hey, some of the games we talked about on this show, I don't want to be in Harvester. That sounds terrible.
That does sound really bad. You're right.
Yeah. So there,
Even in
that's
just a world, like, if somewhere right now that we're talking, somebody's in, like, this 1950s town game.
being
that's
trained to
like
be a serial killer. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't
I don't want that to be happening.
Yeah,
So hopefully
yeah.
it isn't. But Harvester the game exists, so it does. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Okay, is that both, or was there a third category? Movies.
I think movies and television.
Oh God. Okay.
I like how you're just getting, like, mad now. It's like, oh, fine.
Yeah. Although I was like a lot of shows just try to establish that their thing is reality, but it's kind of just regular life.
Like Breaking Bad, meth
Yeah.
happens.
It's like Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and Mad Men. It's like that all is just kind of normal
You know what?
stuff.
Yeah, let's just forget about television then, because television, if we think too
Like
weird,
anime is on television. Done. We did.
that's right. That's exactly it. So we're gonna do movies.
Okay. Star Wars, got a spaceship and stuff. Star Trek, same reason.
No, I do agree with you with Star Wars.
Okay. Actually, I like Star Trek's universe as well. I would
Sure.
do that.
It's kind of the same thing though, just futuristic.
Yeah, but TNG with like the exploration and the races and all that.
Actually,
kind
I
of
would
stuff.
like that way more than Star Wars.
Yeah, it's just kind of you're going around and.
In fact, I'm gonna say I would not like to live in Star Wars because I don't want to be ruled by an oppressive, terrible cult, basically.
Yeah, no matter which era you enter in, it's not great. It's like there's these weird people with superpowers that are better than you, and it's like, oh, that sucks. And it's like, well, now there's this crazy government full of clones. It's like that's not good either.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to Star Wars and yes to Star Trek.
Okay, so we got one in each.
Yeah.
Man, Aliens sounds pretty bad. Just like there's these monsters that have acid blood, and they
never
are
attacked
parasites.
Earth though. It was always like scientists capturing them that started attacks. So it wouldn't be as bad unless you're a scientist.
Yeah, I guess Wayland Yutani kind of stuff is just okay. So yeah, you're right. So Independence Day, that would be bad if that happened.
That would be bad. I don't want to live in the universe of Independence Day. Let's chalk that one up.
Okay. Men in Black though, that'd be kind of neat, right?
I do want to live in the world of Men in Black. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mid-90s alien Will Smith thing.
It's weird because when we're talking about movies, it's like for the one we don't want, there is a version that we would.
Yeah, it's like it also has Will Smith as the hero, but not in the just the little differences. The Wrestler.
That's basically real life.
I know. I don't want to be there. No.
I don't want to be there.
Yeah, any zombie anything.
Yeah, let's not count those.
Yeah, it's just been done to death. Don't want it. King Kong, yes, that'd be awesome. Giant apes. Giant apes.
You know what? I agree with you because we don't live in New York.
Exactly. So again, amazing news story you read about and a crazy video. That'd be cool.
What if, like, we just thought about something cool, like Minority Report, that future?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's some pluses and minuses in that future, but
There are.
you gotta
But,
take
like,
the bad.
As the dudes who are just basically working at the airport, why do we care what the bads are?
I guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting things in that movie. I would take that, and yeah, it is a good and bad situation. It's like, oh man, I guess now you're just making it like there's weird future drugs in that. So then I also kind of want to say Judge Dredd because slow-mo is rad. Like it's just like you just take this
Would you do it?
Hell yeah,
I would too.
yeah. Like, it's like that movie did not do a good job at selling why slow-mo is terrible. Just like, how, dude, yeah. I mean, it burns
Could you
the edges
imagine
of
how
lips.
good you would be at like shmups?
Yeah, it just slows down time. You're just like Radiant
Bullet
Silver
hell?
ain't anything. Yeah.
Yeah, bullet hell shooters. Oh man, you would be the champ.
Playing 2-player Ikaruga all day. And then you upload the video after and become a just superstar.
You'd be PewDiePie version 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Because you're high. So do you think that?
Yep.
Anyway. Okay, there you go. Those are some.
Oh, no, I have one I want to live in. How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
I want a pet dragon. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that
What's your answer to those important series of like basically secretly 9 questions or something?
All right, you ready for the next voicemail?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Hey Paul, hey Nathan, this is going to be me out 900's top 5 Fire Emblem Awakening husbands. Now, I was originally going to make this top 10, but unlike Nathan, I want to shut the hell up when I'm done.
Ouch.
Now, number 5 is Spike. He is the guy who uses the axes. He's really tough, he's also got a cool personality, and he's got muscles. I dig that. 4 would be Frederick, because he is a knight in shining armor. Quite a suiting personality. Also quite a gentleman, or at least in the support conversations he is. Number 3 would be Varian the Archer. I mean, he's pretty suave with the ladies, so that's gotta mean he's good at the stuff. That's pretty pro. Yep. Good stuff.
Oh, God.
Number 2 would be Gaius the Thief. Now, he also has a thing for candy, so maybe if I gave him candy, he would give me some candy of his own. Lollipops. Maybe some jailbreakers. The works. Candy. And number 1 is Crom because he is the prince and he is the hero. And plus, if I marry him, I can become a princess and then a queen.
Cool.
Okay, my question for Paul is, name your top 5 video game wives.
What?
And Nathan, name 5 guys in video games you think are hot.
What? Okay.
Oh, get it? Because you're gay.
When was that a step? What?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I can, like, tell she was getting all, like, hot and bothered while naming off the different, like, husbands or whatever.
Yeah, it's like best Fire Emblem characters. It's very specific.
No, husbands.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what she said.
Well, there you go.
So I have to think of 5 video game wives?
Yeah, I guess so.
Based on what merits?
Hotness? Like, I don't know. You kind of.
Valentine.
I think you set your own. Oh, yeah. I guess that was established earlier. Is it the beret or something, or just the whole package?
I don't know, but that halter top in 3, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm floored at like 14 or whenever that came out.
Oh, okay.
Her, like Jill, is just like my top for everything.
So, like, Jill 5 times in different games.
Is that cheating?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Let's stretch a little
Let's
bit.
go back and forth. I'll say one
Okay.
wife
And I'll
or
say-
whatever, and you say one guy that's hot.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? Let's just both answer.
What do you mean?
I'll like
Answer all of them? No. We're already going crazy long. Let's cut into just cut down to it. What are the hottest
Okay.
video game dudes? Is my query. Great.
All right. Ash Ketchum.
No.
Orin or whatever.
No.
Like, do you want to go for like? Well, I could like close my eyes or squint and pretend it's a chick.
No.
So in that case,
I'm not
Titus
sure.
or
I'm trying to
Titus.
think just what my criteria for this.
Sephiroth.
No, come on. It's like, who would be a good provider? Like, who would be good company? Who would be fun to be? I don't know.
She didn't ask you for husbands. She asked you for.
Oh, just hottest dudes? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Man, I'm like blanking weird. Batman.
That doesn't count.
What? Bruce Wayne,
Oh,
one of the sexiest
name
eligible bachelors.
one Name one video game, Batman. There's a bunch of
Origin.
different
What do
Okay.
you, or like not Origin, sorry, but Arkham. I'll say Asylum. Why not?
Okay.
So that's one for me. So back to you.
Okay.
It's over here.
Oh my God, what the fuck is her name? Holy shit, I can't even remember.
Commander
I think it's
Shepard.
No, I think it's
Cast of DOA.
I think it's Aya or Aya from Parasite Eve. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. Aya
Parasite
from
Eve
yeah.
is I think like Aya or something. AYA.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say her.
Nathan Drake.
Okay, so Nathan Fillion, basically.
Yeah, but Nolan North's voice.
Okay. Fucking hot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other video games I play besides survival horror. It's not working out for me right now. Oh my God, what's her name? Oh, I have to look her name up. I apologize.
Okay.
It's
I have
one of
another
the- It's one of the horrors from DOA.
Well, okay. Well, I'm trying to think. Kasumi, Ayane, Helena.
Okay, maybe it isn't DOA actually. It's Soul Calibur.
Oh, Ivy.
The one with the tits.
Ivy.
No, not that one. The other one.
Sophitia.
No. Taki.
Oh,
Or
what?
Whatever.
Okay.
She's ninja and she's got tits. Ninja tits.
Okay. I guess. Okay. Sure. Michael from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
Specifically, not Trevor, not Franklin.
All right.
That dude.
All right. Okay, fair enough. You're right. Ivy would have been the more known pull.
Well, you say like one of the whores from DOA. Oh wait, no, Soul Calibur. It's like, oh, well, obviously Ivy. It's like,
I don't
no, the ninja.
Anime horrors. You know
Okay.
how it is. They're all kind of the same. I mean, apologies to any anime horror listeners out there.
Oh, dude, Kanji from Persona 4.
Is that your 5?
That's my 4.
Is that...
I think
okay,
I
I got to
one
think of my 4th, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh shit. What video games have I played ever?
Harvester. So Stephanie.
No. No. That's not a thing.
I got my 5.
Lilith from Borderlands 1.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Actually, no. Fuck that. No, Mad Moxie.
Okay. Either way, the Rule 34 forums have some stuff for you.
Oh fuck, I've been through all of it. Trust me.
Thumbs up. I have my number 5.
Okay, what's your number 5?
Francis York Morgan from Deadly Premonition.
Oh yeah, he's so
Crazy,
hot.
interesting dude. Yeah, it's like
So hot.
Kyle MacLachlan, but in video game form, and like weird
Okay.
scars. But anyway, there you go. So 5 hot dudes. We need a 5th wife from video games.
5th wife. See, the problem is
Any
I don't.
Mass Effect people, like, you know.
I mean, yeah, but no, because
Okay.
they're just kind of there. You know what? Sure, I'll say Miranda.
Okay. There you have it, Meowth.
She's got that ass.
Okay.
Anyways, next voicemail. Here we go.
So Smash Brothers Direct happened. Oh, by the way, hey Paul, hey Nathan, it's me again.
Oh, hey.
Yes, that happened. I didn't really care too much. Green Ninja's in it. And I only guessed that Pokemon would be in it because ever since X and Y came out, nobody would shut up about how awesome Green Ninja is. I mean, it's just a frog ninja. I mean, hello, we had like 4 other frogs that were in Pokemon. Just because this one's a ninja doesn't mean it's so much better than the rest of them. My goodness. I mean, I wish I could have made the fox a ninja, and I could have named it Naruto. I mean, that would be so much more It would make sense.
That would fit.
Ninja
better,
Foxes. That would make more sense than Ninja Frogs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you would get confused with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if you made a Ninja Turtle.
Like
So why a
Battletoads.
Ninja Frog? I don't get it. Are they trying to reference Jiraiya? What? What is it with that? Ugh, I don't get it. What's with all the hype for Grey Ninja? That's my opinions on Smash Brothers Direct.
Okay.
Questions for you. Who are you hyped to see in Smash? I won't answer that question because I don't really care. Maybe I'm hyped for Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening. Who knows? That's all I got.
I'm with her. I don't fucking care about Smash. So
I just want Donkey Kong to wear an undershirt again. That was awesome. Like, what the hell happened? Like, just the tie, it's not distinctive. I don't like modern DK and what he looks like. Rare screwed it up.
What is your opinion on Greninja?
I didn't know this was a giant controversy. Like, the one thing I heard coming out of the Smash thing was, oh, Charizard's in it. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And
yeah, but Charizard is the best Pokemon. So what do you think about a Ninja Frog hybrid?
Like, that's a playable character in it?
That's a starting character in Frog Pokemon, or for Pokemon X.
Yeah, Pokemon. But I mean, is that, like, the Frog character a playable character in Smash? Like, one of the main
I think it is, yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
And that's it.
That is weird. Like, that's kind of, like, Charizard, that is an iconic Pokemon. Like, I know who that is, and I haven't played them. So, yeah, this Gray Frog business sounds like it's really just a bee in Meowth spawn it.
There were other frog Pokemon too, but they're all kind of dumb looking. I mean, not to say that a frog ninja is awesome looking, but I don't know.
Do you think it's like a veiled Battletoads acknowledgement of some kind?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Well, I just, throwing it out there, weird amphibians and that. Okay, who are we hyped to be in Smash? Is Charlie Brown in it?
Really?
No. Well,
is this a question?
No. Sorry to insult you.
No.
Well, I mean, Mega Man's in it. He was in a cartoon, and I don't know. I thought it.
You know what?
Character I cared about is Louis C.
If and probably when I play it at someone's house or something,
like Don Draper.
My characters I pick basically for that game are like Kirby and Link. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Like a Samus. Like a place Samus. Yeah.
Fox is okay too.
Yeah, I'm pretty core characters. Like there hasn't been like one iconic Nintendo person that I've been like, why isn't this in it? Why hasn't this happened? Right. So I don't think anyway. I'm trying to think to like, Wario. Why isn't Wario or Toad or somebody in there? The stars of Wario
was.
What the hell? No, he's not. I'm pretty sure that has never happened, unless he's in the Brawl, and I just didn't care.
Dude, he's totally in Brawl.
I'm an idiot. Smash Brothers for me is Melee. Okay. So how was Wario in that game?
Dude, I don't know. I'm with you. Melee was my Smash Brothers game, and ever since then, I don't care because I played the shit out of it back then.
Yeah, so that other one might as well never have happened. I can't believe Wario I didn't know that. That's crazy. I owned that game. I do own that game.
I do too. It's somewhere here.
That's how little it matters to me.
Yeah.
So, to everyone who cringed horribly when I said, why isn't Wario in it? That's why. That's why. Because he isn't. Because
he wasn't in the game.
He wasn't in the real game. Yeah, right. We're elitist weirdos over here. Okay. Last?
Okay, next voicemail. Here we go.
Oh, just the next one. Okay.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Nathan. I want to talk about Space Dandy for a little bit. That finale was pretty awesome. I mean, I wanted to give QT the hugs after all that stuff that happened to him. Her, it, robot. QT's a robot vacuum. Anyways, yep. That Space Dandy finale was pretty good. I don't know if Paul's watched yet. And I know Nathan hasn't watched Space Dandy because he's a loser. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, that's my opinion. Hey guys,
but
you want to guess who my favorite character in Space Dandy is? I'll give you a couple seconds.
that robot? You sounded pretty
Dandy.
excited.
It's
If you
Dandy.
guess Space Dandy, you're correct.
Oh,
course
good
it
job,
is.
Paul.
Anyways, hey Paul, can you list your favorite Space Dandy characters from favorite to least favorite?
Okay.
And also, Nathan, you know, Chrono Trigger is kind of a nice game to play. But you can always watch Space Dandy. It's a pretty good series, and I'm sure it can get you hyped up for something because you had that problem of hating everything that I seem to enjoy, like superhero movies and whatnot. You also hate Legos. Why do you hate Legos so much? What did Legos do to you? Did you have a
Kill my
bad
mother.
experience, Nathan? Did a Lego choke you? Huh? Did a Lego choke you? Legos.
Weird.
Whoa, that was a weird ending. Yeah, actually, I didn't choke on Lego, but it kind of formed this weird rift between me and my dad. So no, I'm just.
Wait, I have the only response for you. I didn't choke on Legos, but they're sure shoving it down my throat lately.
Good stuff. No, it's weird. I remember this one instance of like me trying to build something and my dad put a Lego head on one of the blocks and I was like, what is that? Like, I just got annoyed and it was
then
weird.
he hit you and beat you furiously.
No, he just
So
stopped playing. Like, he was
every
just like,
time-
"All right, well, I'm gonna leave."
Every time you see Lego stuff now, you just feel like this slap across your face again and again.
No, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah. Like, there was a point where I just stopped buying Legos and just started making the ones I had into guns. But anyway, that wasn't the main question. Space Dandy characters, best ones.
Space Dandy characters, Honey and all the boobies characters, because tits, Dandy and QT on the same level because they work off each other comedically very well, and Meow is the least important thing to me.
Meow?
Yeah.
I guess I should watch more episodes. I saw the first one, but in Japanese, so apparently I did it wrong. Wasn't there another wrinkle to my question? It was about what did Legos ever do to me? Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger stuff. Why don't you watch Space Dandy instead or while I'm playing Chrono Trigger? Because then I won't be enjoying either fully. So
Right. You should probably do them separately.
yeah, like I can watch it. I mean, it sounds like I have a break now because the season's over. So did you watch it? Are you caught up or?
No, I'm not caught up yet.
Okay.
I hear that last episode's pretty good, though.
Ooh. Are they still going to be all available on Funimation, or does that not happen after the season's over?
I download torrents, couldn't tell you.
Oh,
No idea.
okay. Okay.
I'm one of those guys. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
You ready for the next voicemail?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
The Foreign Service wishes to congratulate you gentlemen on your survival. Luckily, our agents were able to disable the explosives remotely. However, we have not yet managed to apprehend the enemy operatives. We are initiating protocols to remove you from the problem. We need to know if you have any preferences on your new identities and aliases. What would you like done with your remains? And do you want to be an organ donor?
Okay, so new aliases, what we want done with our remains. I'm going to say yes to organ donation, first of all,
Okay.
because science.
I guess so. But I mean, with my immortality wish from earlier, I mean, these aren't even really.
That doesn't count.
Oh, okay. You can't pile on the questions.
What's our new alias?
Vincent Montana.
I think I'm going to be Senor Chico. I'm going to live in Mexico.
All right.
I'm going to grow out a mustache and play guitar for change on the road for tourists.
Why? Okay. Man, I'm just like Vicente Montana, which doesn't fit me at all.
Actually, you know what? Fuck organ donation, because although it could be used for science,
Yeah.
it's more likely that like my eyes or like brain or something are going to be in a little kid, and I hate little kids, so cremate my remains. Nobody gets shit.
Okay. Whereas, like, what was to be done with my remains? I've honestly thought about this. I want to be buried like in the frigid north.
Yeah.
just to be like
So-
preserved as well as possible. So in this
You died
weird...
the way you lived in Canada.
No, I mean like North Pole or something. Like just like, you know, in the off
You
chance.
could be the North Pole. Just
Yeah,
stand you straight up. Just put a
Right
beacon on you.
right on the top. Yeah, put a little weird hat on me, and I'll help the planet. So that's what I want done with my remains. And yeah, I want the name Vicente or Vincent or something, because I've
Okay.
liked that name for a long time, and I don't know where I'd go. Was that even part of it?
That's why your cat was named Vinny, right?
I've kind of dug that name for quite a while. So yeah, and yes, I named my
Okay.
cat. Which might make it kind of
But-
obvious if someone's trying to find me. Like they'll...
Well, that's good that they got the bomb defused. That's that last voicemail from like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
That was like we had to pack our things because we were going to blow up in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad that you guys got that worked out. So thank you.
And
But
now,
next time, maybe don't let it happen again, huh?
yeah, geez.
Anyways, last voicemail. You
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Hello. I have purchased a new microphone. Only had to kill like 3 people to do it, but it's pretty good. It significant quality difference. Like check this out. Guys, how many fingers am I holding up?
3.
You got it. You got it. So it's pretty good. Yeah. Not used to this level of background noise, I'm gonna say. It's very sensitive. But that's the only way you could do the finger trick, but it's okay. So yeah, what kind of microphones are you guys rocking? I got a blue Nessie here. It's like all they had.
A Nessie? What is that one?
That's the one with like the stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a blue Yeti. Is this one here? So that blue brand, they apparently make USB microphones that people buy. I've definitely heard about them for a while. What have you got?
I have an M audio thing. It's called Producer USB, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It came in a package in a store, and I picked it up and purchased it.
Nice.
And all it says on the front is M audio, so that's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
The finger trick? What is that?
That's how I could tell how many fingers he was holding up, because I could hear it.
Oh, I thought you just said a random number and it was wacky.
Dude, it was. It's fuck.
No, I get it.
Anyways, thank you for.
No, goddamn it! Now I sound so stupid.
Thanks for sending in your voice.
Got a question or comment for the show? You can email us at podcast@pixelresponse.com or leave a voicemail using the voicemail feature on the right side of the main page. On Twitter, you can reach Nathan at Krasnor and Paul at Exposure. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/thepixelresponse and visit pixelresponse.com for more.
You know, you're the reason why Jesus was able to perform miracles, because you're gullible as fuck.
Dude, I know what he meant though about like the hypersensitive audio thing, so I thought it was a thing. He sold me on it. You're right, but I feel so stupid. But you could hear the currents generated by the hand. I don't know.
That's right. I could hear it so clearly when he said, "How many fingers am I holding up?" I heard a
Exactly.
after it.
He
Yeah,
did a German 3 and it made the sound.
that's right. German 3. Wow.
My excuse is no, sorry. I just trust people. You say things, I go, oh, okay, and that's my weakness. So
That's how we do it here on the Pixel Response podcast. Thank you for joining us. And it is 3 a.m. for us.
yep,
So-
I got work.
Yay. We'll see you guys next time.
So you know the the word gullible isn't in the dictionary thing?
Yeah.
I was 13, fell for it. Like 100%.
Did you actually?
100%.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Like,
Because you trust people too much.
I just trust people that, it's like, hey, I've known this dude for a while. Of course that must be
Like,
true.
why would he lie to me?
Yeah, my buddy Steve. And it was like, all right, well, betrayed me.
Fucking
It was-
Steve.
It was crazy.